If you've ever been weary of April Fool's jokes on April 1st, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Benzinga's Pre-Market Playbook. And I'll tell you what, didn't have that planned right there at all, but a nice little April Fool's joke on me as my internet died. So it is what it is. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if we are live now. I don't even know if we're live. I don't even know if we're live. If you guys are out, April Fools. Okay, looks like we're good to go here. We can hear you. Okay, happy April Fools, folks. We got a lot to cover here today. We've got Tim Melvin here today. Sorry about that. Benzinga's Pre-Market Playbook starting off with a bang here today for April 1st. Starts right now. Good morning and welcome back, folks. Boy, that was interesting. That was interesting. Happy April Fools. Happy April 1st. And perhaps most importantly, or most immediately, happy Wednesday. Hope that you all had a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We're back here today. At least it looks like we're back. Hopefully we stay back here. Oh, technology. It's fun. It's just a little stressful when it doesn't work. Let's go ahead and get started here. Big Hurt is first here today, trading CYCN. That's going to be one of our movers. Absolutely. So, I'm sure we'll be checking that out. Big Hurt, Brent, good morning. Welcome back. Richard Judge, good morning. Welcome back. It's great to see you. Francis, good morning. Welcome back. Cad Monkey says, April Fools. Yeah, indeed. We started off right away with an April Fool's joke there. How about that? Peter, good morning. Welcome back. Robert, good morning. Welcome back. Solitary Soldier, good morning. Welcome back. Crispy Biscuit, good morning. Looks like the producer also tried an April Fool's joke, a little bit more palatable than the odd one that we got, that's for sure. But nonetheless, good morning. Welcome back, producer. Marty, good morning. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Indeed, we do have a stream here today. Carlos, good morning. Welcome back. Solitary Soldier, good morning. Welcome back. Potg, good morning. Welcome back. Raintree says, why good morning? Because I welcome everybody back. It's a good morning. Every morning that we wake up and breathe is a good one. Animal, good morning from Bosnia. Hey, what a game for you folks yesterday. Bouncing Italy in the qualifier, third straight World Cup that Italy's not going to. Man, you got to be absolutely ecstatic. You got to be absolutely ecstatic about yesterday's game. I didn't even know the significance of that. I flipped it on and I was like, wow, this is a great game. Ed, good morning. Welcome back. Corey, good morning. Welcome back. Marionette, good morning. It's good to see you as always. Buffalo by Bicycle, good morning. Welcome back. Jay Harris, good morning. Welcome back. No fresh tariff news today. Bernhard, good morning. Welcome back. Big Dave, good morning. Welcome back. Tyler, good morning. Tyler, how are we feeling? Bullish or bearish? Well, so far, feeling bullish here, that's for sure. The question is, are we going to hold? And we're going to cover that here pretty soon when we take a look at the SPY chart, because two possible scenarios, the way I see it. We're going to get one of them, and we might get one of those here today. So we'll see. Linda, good morning. It's great to see you again. Welcome back. The Noob, good morning. Welcome back. Lost Penny, good morning. Welcome back. Yeah, Ryan disappeared. Yeah, Ryan's internet decided to play an April Fool's joke on him. That's just how it goes. Astro Kev, good morning. James, good morning. Welcome back. And thanks, guys, for the sanity check there. Reggie, good morning. Welcome back. Live and loving it. All right, good. We handle problems here. We are not put off by tech issues. That's not how we do. Lost Penny, good morning. JJ, good morning. Gene, good morning. Welcome back. Scott, good morning. Welcome back. AC, good morning. Welcome back. Brandy, it's good to see you. Welcome back. Good as always. Lambo Rolls, good morning. Durkis, good morning. Yassine, good morning. Fake Beat AI, good morning. And Perp for Lifeski, good morning. Dan Nick, good morning. Welcome back, Dan. It's great to see you. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get started with our stock market today. Futures in the green here ahead of Wednesday's open. Let's hope that's not an April. Oh, I have to share my screen. Sorry about that. Let's hope that's not an April Fool's joke here. Let's hope that we can hold it. S&P futures up 0.85%. Dow futures up 0.78%. And the NASDAQ futures leading the way higher 0.13%. It's also worth noting that oil futures down 2.81% here today. So we see a continuation of the market trading up along with oil trading down. Let's take a look at some cues from last session here. Let's scroll down and grab that here. Communication services, consumer discretionary, and information technology stocks led the S&P 500's Tuesday gains, though energy and the utilities sector ended up closing lower. In the latest on the U.S.-Iran war, President Trump said the U.S. could end its military campaign, quote, within 2 or 3 weeks, end quote, noting that Iran would not need to agree to any terms for the withdrawal to proceed. Additionally, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian stated that Iran is open to ending hostilities, but only if it receives formal security guarantees against future attacks. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said that Trump is scheduled to deliver a televised address to the nation tonight, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, to provide an important update on the Iran situation. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.27%, and the 2-year bond was at 3.76%. The CME Group's Fed Watch Tool projections show the market's pricing in a 99.5% likelihood of the Federal Reserve leaving the current interest rates unchanged in its April meeting. Now, we've got several stocks in focus here for you today, and the first one's going to be Nike, which is the big earnings report from yesterday. It dropped 9.31% in the pre-market on Wednesday, despite reporting better than expected third-quarter results amid a turnaround strategy. Nike's Q3 EPS of 35 cents beat the 31-cent estimate, and sales of $11.279 billion beat the estimate of $11.236 billion. Nike sees Q4 sales of $10.65 billion to $10.87 billion. That was versus the estimate of $11.23 billion. So a guide lower there, and that's what's causing Nike to sell off here today. The next stock on our list is going to be Restoration Hardware, ticker RH. And it plunged 19.1% after reporting worse than expected fourth quarter financial results and issuing fiscal year 26 sales guidance below estimates. RH Q4 adjusted EPS of 153 misses the 222 estimate. Sales of 842.62 million missed the estimate of 873.32 million. Restoration Hardware sees Q1 sales of 781.34 million to 797.63 million. That was versus an estimate of 880 million. RH sees fiscal year 2026 sales of 3.57 billion to 3.71 billion. That was versus the estimate of 3.77 billion. So this is a mark of the high-end consumer, and it looks like the guidance here not great. So we'll see if a wealth effect is maybe starting to creep in. The next stock on our list is going to be Encino, and the ticker on this one is NCNO. It jumped 16.89% after the cloud banking software company reported strong fourth quarter, with non-GAAP EPS beating analyst estimates by nearly 147% and unveiling a $100 million accelerated share repurchase program. Encino's Q4 adjusted EPS of 37 cents beat the 21-cent estimate, and sales of 149.7 million beat the estimate of 147.82 million. Encino sees Q1 sales of 154.5 million to 156.5 million. That's versus the estimate of 152.64 million. Encino sees fiscal year 2027 sales of 639 million to 643 million. That was versus the estimate of 639.58 million. The next stock on our list is Beyond Meat, ticker BYND, and it dropped 10.21% after it missed revenue estimates. Its full year revenue of 275.5 million was lower by 15.6% year over year. Beyond Meat Q4 adjusted EPS of a 29-cent loss missed the 13-cent loss estimate, so they lost more than anticipated. And sales of 61.589 million missed the estimate of 62.56 million. Beyond Meat sees Q1 sales of 57 to 59 million. That was versus the estimate of 66.74 million. So no good for Beyond Meat there. The last stock on our list here is a stalwart. It's AT&T, and the ticker is T. It was down 0.76% as despite signaling a deal to invest about $1 billion to approve the Commerce Department's FirstNet and deliver $1 billion in cost savings. All right, let's get back here to Benzinga Pro. We are loading the chart here. Just one sec. Oh, you know what? This is probably from when my internet went out. Let me actually refresh it here. We'll take a look at the SPY chart, see where we're going, and then we'll take a look at some insights from analysts here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. The big thing here with the SPY, what's going to happen here today? We've talked recently about this bounce. We did not quite get to the 10% pullback level, although we were extremely close. It was like 9.9%. We were off by less than $1 to the actual 10% point of 628.06. We got a really nice bounce yesterday on really good volume, and we have some carry through here today. The question for me is going to be these next two moving average lines. We've got the 20-day moving average, which has been very indicative of our trend here at 660, 660.20. Let's call it 660. See if we can get above that. But perhaps more importantly, we have the 200-day at 662.25. So I'm wondering then, do we trade up and find resistance at the 200-day? Because if we do, if we are unable to get above the 200-day, this actually sets up for a possible rejection at the 200-day and maybe a rollover in SPY. If we do that, I would imagine that we would probably roll over and set some new lows. How low do we go? Not too sure, maybe anywhere between 10 and 15%. But I think that if we roll back over, we are actually going to print that 628 on the nose, probably lower than that as we overshoot it a little bit. The other possibility is that we just break through the 200. I guess there's a possibility that we back test our trend line that originated on the 4-hour chart and hold that and then maybe bounce again. But really the key here that I'm looking at is, can we break over this 200? Can we really start feeling like the sell-off is over, feeling like maybe some of the good news that we're getting out here is going to stick? Ultimately, hearing comments from Trump or from Iran is one thing, but actually seeing more boats safely travel through the Strait of Hormuz is going to be another. And I think that ultimately is going to determine where we go here. We'll see what we get. We'll see how quick it is, and we'll see what the SPY does here with the 200-day. But these are the key levels here today, and these are the ones I think that we really need to watch here today. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some insights from analysts here. Jeremy Siegel maintains a cautious outlook for the U.S. economy and stock market, primarily due to geopolitical tensions and rising yields. He notes that while domestic economy remains, quote, reasonably sound, end quote, with constructive labor data, the external shock from the Strait of Hormuz has created a, quote, risk premium story driven by energy, long rates, and uncertainty, end quote. Regarding the Federal Reserve, Siegel argues that the rise in the 10-year Treasury yield towards 4.6 means, quote, the bond market is effectively doing the tightening for them, end quote. Consequently, while a rate hike is unlikely, the urgency for immediate cuts has weakened materially. For equities, Siegel advises short-term caution, stating, quote, the path of least resistance is still lower, end quote. He suggests a prolonged energy crisis could lead to mid-teens drawdown for the S&P 500. Remember, we're talking about 10 to 15%. Well, mid-teens is in fact 15%. Though he does not view this as the start of a full-scale U.S. bear market. So the key takeaway there is that if we pull back here, it should be a buying opportunity. He highlights U.S. energy resilience compared to more vulnerable foreign markets, concluding that until energy markets stabilize, investors should remain decisive and expect more volatility. Now, we do have some economic data points here today. February's delayed U.S. retail sales and retail sales minus autos data, along with March's ADP jobs data, will be released by 8:30. St. Louis Fed President Alberto Musalem will speak at 9:05, and Fed Governor Michael Barr will speak at 9:10. March's S&P final U.S. manufacturing PMI will be out by 9:45, and March's ISM manufacturing data and January's delayed business inventories report will both be released by 10 here today. Okay, another story here, and this Lion, we're going back to it. Jim Cramer, our new nickname courtesy of Lion Atlas. Jim Cramer calls March 31st market rally, quote, a dry run, and says that these three major shifts are coming if the Iran war ends. So I know this is kind of what we're all waiting for here. See what we end up getting. However, CNBC Mad Money host Jim Cramer, of course, has proposed three potential market shifts that could occur if the U.S.-Iran war comes to an end. Cramer referred to Tuesday's market activity as a dry run for what might eventually transpire when the war eventually subsides officially. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ Composite ended 2.9 and 3.83% higher respectively, following news suggesting a potential de-escalation in the Middle East. He predicts three significant market shifts if the war concludes. First, he foresees a drop in rates, marking a notable reversal in the 10-year Treasury since the war began. This is attributed to the realization of inflation risks stemming from the war, not just heightened oil prices, but also from the effect on ancillary products from the Gulf. Second, Cramer expects a revival in growth stocks, as demonstrated by Tuesday's gains in NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, and Marvell, ticker MRVL, good call on that, by the way, yesterday, which closed 5.9 and 12.8% higher, respectively. He suggests that as rates decline, investors can concentrate on the positive actions for high-growth companies without the distraction of a Middle East conflict. Marvell shares also rose after it announced a strategic partnership with NVIDIA, integrating its technology into NVIDIA's AI factory and AI RAN ecosystem via the NVLink Fusion to offer more flexible next-gen AI infrastructure. Finally, Cramer anticipates a rally in big bank stocks. How about that? Which have been affected by worries that the war would halt Wall Street's deal-making. He pointed to the 4.75% and 3.91% advances of Goldman Sachs, ticker GS, and Morgan Stanley, ticker MS, respectively, as potential beneficiaries of the war's end. Cramer's comments came as the stock market climbed and the oil price fell sharply on Tuesday after President Trump indicated that the U.S. would exit the Iran war in 2 to 3 weeks, even if a deal is not reached. At the same time, reports suggested that Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian indicated that the country's readiness to halt hostilities provided they received guarantees from the U.S. This aligns with Cramer's earlier observation about falling oil prices being a positive market signal. He said investors are overlooking falling oil prices and the impact of the Trump put, while criticizing pessimists who believe oil will stay high and drag the global economy down. However, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said markets would stay volatile until the Iran conflict ends, stressing that resolving the war matters more than short-term market swings despite a resilient economy. Quote, "We should all hope that we win this thing and clean up the strait and that Iran is no longer a threat to everybody," end quote. That was, again, from Jamie Dimon. So I would agree with that. I think everyone would. All right. The next story here, some more AI stuff from Cathie Wood, adding the OpenAI to 3 ARK ETFs. We'll break this down for you. On Tuesday, Cathie Wood doubled down on artificial intelligence by adding ChatGPT parent OpenAI to multiple ETFs as the company raised fresh capital. ARK Invest added OpenAI to 3 flagship funds, the ARK-K, ARK-W, and ARK-F, with each ETF allocating roughly 3% to the private AI company. OpenAI Group PBC is the for-profit public benefit subsidiary of OpenAI Foundation. It is responsible for the company's AI research, development, and products, such as ChatGPT. The move comes as OpenAI announced it closed a $122 billion funding round, pushing its post-money valuation to $852 billion, with backing from investors including NVIDIA and SoftBank. Speaking with Wood, OpenAI CFO Sarah Fryer said the company now has around 900 million users, with engagement rising sharply among paying subscribers. Free users use the product about 7 times per day, but when they move to a paid tier, they typically double their usage, Fryer said, noting that activity can climb to more than 20 daily interactions on higher tier plans. Let me know how many interactions you folks have with large language models. Fryer added that OpenAI is focused on converting free users to subscriptions while also exploring ad-supported models. Beyond consumers, OpenAI is seeing rapid enterprise adoption through APIs and tools such as Codex, its developer-focused AI agent. Fryer said the number of developers using Codex has surged from about 100,000 at the start of the year to more than 2 million in just a few months. Now, despite the growth, Fryer underscored a critical bottleneck. Access to computing power. This is one that we've known about for some time. Quote, if you do not have it, you do not have revenue, end quote, highlighting that securing data center capacity and chips require long-term planning and massive capital commitments. She added that the company is making tough trade-offs due to limited computing availability, even as it plans infrastructure needs years into the future. She named Peter Steenberger, the creator of AI assistant OpenClaw, who joined OpenAI in February of 2026, saying the company is also hiring top researchers and expanding go-to-market teams as essential to sustaining that momentum. On Tuesday, OpenAI also moved to broaden its investor access ahead of its expected IPO later this year, with plans to include its shares in ARK Invest ETFs, and that was reported by Axios. The company also sold about $3 billion worth of shares to individual investors via a private placement through clients of 3 major banks. The $3 billion is part of the latest funding round. CFO Fryer told the publication that the move aligns with OpenAI's mission to expand its access. All right, got a couple of minutes before we get Tim Melvin. I know we missed Tim last week, but we got him back, and we got a doozy here. We're going to be bringing him on in just a few minutes here. Gary Black also making some news here about Tesla. This one talking about NASDAQ rule changes that will put intense pressure on fund managers to participate in the SpaceX IPO, saying, quote, sitting out may be too risky. I know I said Tesla, sorry, meant SpaceX, but it's possible that all of these are going to be one or related at some point anyway. Investor Gary Black of the Future Fund LLC thinks that the NASDAQ 100's rule changes would put significant pressure on fund managers to participate in the Elon Musk-led commercial spaceflight company SpaceX's upcoming IPO. The upcoming IPO is expected to create intense pressure on managers and professional investors to participate, even at a valuation north of $1 trillion, because sitting out may be too risky. Black said this in a post on social media platform X on Tuesday, citing the recent NASDAQ rule changes. Quote, fund managers fret that if they sit out the SpaceX offering and the shares soar, their performance will look dismal, end quote. He added that Musk and the bankers were well aware of this pressure on fund managers as SpaceX gears to sell a record $75 billion worth of stock. And remember, Elon Musk said that he wants to have a higher allotment for retail traders on top of all of this. NASDAQ announced a series of rule changes on Monday after consulting stakeholders in the industry, outlining that the index would include both listed and unlisted shares for calculating a company's market cap. The index also changed the rules around entry into the exchange, sharing that companies with market cap equal to any of the top 40 listed enterprises on the index would be allowed a fast entry within 15 trading days. The new rules will take effect on May 1st, 2026. NASDAQ also announced the removal of the 10% free float requirement for companies. The rule changes have been criticized by investor Michael Burry of the Big Short fame. SpaceX, which has reportedly been leaning towards a listing on the NASDAQ, could benefit from the rule change, as new rules would allow the company to join the index almost immediately after its planned IPO, which is targeting a $1.75 trillion valuation, according to Elon Musk. Black, on the other hand, has also warned against a possible SpaceX-Tesla merger, citing concerns with the valuation of the EV giant stock. He had earlier warned that a merger could see Tesla shareholders be on the losing end, as the stock could reduce 25 to 30% in value. Now, I'm not sure I see that yet, but would love to get an opinion here from the group on all of that. Really quickly, just kind of continuing here along those Tesla lines, we actually had a surge in European sales in France. It tripled there. And Denmark is also showing growth. Tesla, ticker TSLA, has recorded a surge in registrations across multiple European markets as the Elon Musk-led EV giant sales improve after consistent declines. Tesla registered 9,569 new vehicles in France during March, according to a report by Reuters on Tuesday. The figure also illustrated a 203% year-over-year increase in registrations for the EV giant in the market, and was slightly below the record of 9,572 vehicles it registered in December of 2023. The EV maker's sales in Scandinavia also grew, with Norway reporting 6,150 registrations, which was up 178% in March. Sweden reported 1,447 registrations in March, constituting a 144% surge for Tesla in the country. Denmark recorded a 96% surge in registrations, reporting 1,784 units sold in the country last month, according to the report. The news comes as Musk took to social media to share that the automaker has officially ended production of the premium Model S and X lines, calling the move an end of the era for the automaker. The Model S and X were the earliest models offered by the company following the original Roadster, being in production, since 2012 and 2015, respectively. Tesla's current lineup includes the Model 3, the Model Y, and the Cybertruck, but there could be a brand new vehicle on the horizon for the automaker, besides the upcoming $30,000 Cybercab with no pedals or a steering wheel. We'll see which one we end up getting there. And then one more piece of news just on one of its competitors. I know we sometimes get asked about NIO here. Tesla's rival NIO, the March deliveries jumped 136%. So an actual good print here. NIO, ticker NIO, shares are trading up during Wednesday's pre-market session as the company reported impressive deliveries results for March and the first quarter of 2026. The stock's rise follows a significant increase in vehicle deliveries, which has contributed to a positive sentiment around the electric vehicle sector, as broader markets also show gains. In March of 2026, NIO, which is a major rival of Tesla, delivered 35,486 vehicles, marking a remarkable 136% year-over-year increase. In the first quarter, total deliveries reached 83,465 vehicles, reflecting a 98.3% year-over-year growth and showcasing the company's strong market performance. Cumulative deliveries have reached 1,081,057 as of March 31st, 2026. The company's flagship premium SUV, the all-new ES8, achieved its 80,000th delivery in just 181 days, reinforcing its position as a leader in China's large SUV segment. Quote, driven by its differentiated product capabilities, the sustained user demand, the all-new ES8 continues to strengthen its leadership in the large SUV market, end quote. The company said that in a press release. In March, the Chinese electric vehicle maker released its fourth quarter results. The company reported quarterly earnings of 34.65 billion yuan, or 4.95 billion USD, which was up 75.9% year over year and 59% sequentially. The figure exceeded the analyst consensus estimate of 4.61 billion. The earnings improvements reflect stronger vehicle deliveries and improved operational efficiency. Demand for premium electric vehicles in China also supported the company's revenue momentum. Now, as far as some of its peers go, XPEV or XPeng, ticker XPEV, March deliveries rebounded strongly to 27,415 units. That was up 80% month on month, but remains 17% lower than a year ago. For the first quarter, the company delivered 62,682 vehicles. That was down 33.3% year on year, though still within its stated guidance range. Li Auto, ticker LI, delivered 41,053 vehicles in March. That was up 12% year on year and 55% from February, signaling strong momentum. First quarter deliveries totaled 95,142 units, with rising 2.45% year on year, but down 12.9% from the previous quarter. NIO is currently trading 10.5% above its 20-day simple moving average and 16.9% above its 100-day simple moving average, indicating a strong upward trend. Accessible flagship, that's actually for the next thing here, which we can get to. But first, it's time for the return of Tim Melvin. I know you guys missed him last week. We had some other stuff to do. Let's go ahead and bring Tim on and see how he's doing here today. Tim, good morning. Look, I just gotta thank you. This is going to be on this channel, and I'm just really thrilled that you're here with us.
You're going to do what now?
This is the last show that we're ever going to do on this channel, unfortunately. So I'm really glad that you could join us as a guest.
Oh, are we switching channels or what's going on?
No, it's April Fool's. Take that.
Okay. Well, it is, isn't it? All right. Well, okay. Very good. Stop that. All right.
You see how he just handled that? Like he's heard April Fool's jokes for the last 70 years with no problem.
Glad to be back, guys. And last week I did the only thing that I could possibly imagine that's more fun than hanging out with Ryan. So now that my colonoscopy is behind me, let's get.
One of my favorite things about Tim is that we can joke like that. And Tim, the jokes they're natural for you. They're natural for you.
They're right. Well, if you don't laugh at it all, you start crying, and that gets a little,
Yeah, that's very true. And laughter is in fact the best medicine. So we'll go with that.
We're gonna get another We're going to get another rally, it looks like, today. We'll see, how it holds and what happens.
Yeah, Tim, I know you and I kind of talked about this yesterday. Really what this comes down to is, are we able to trade up to the 200? And if we get rejected there, does that provide short entry? Right. Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at here today. Very simple.
And I've been doing this long enough now that, anytime I get up and I open the news and I read the news, and after I'm done reading through the sports, I see the Orioles lost, the Cubs lost. At least we lost to a real baseball team. Y'all lost to the Angels. But
not proud of it, Tim.
No. And Shohei Ohtani is busy being Shohei Ohtani. So you read all that, and then you look, you say, well, the president's going to address the nation tonight at 9:00. I do not care who the president is. Okay. Anytime the president says, I'm going to come on at 9:00, I'm going to cancel all your favorite TV shows. I'm going to interrupt the baseball games. Y'all are just going to have to shut up and listen to me. I kind of go, I shrink in a little bit, right? Because the odds are that it's something that the market's not going to like, that I'm not going to like, are pretty high. So, and no, that's not a poke at the president. It's a poke at all presidents. And the fact that primetime slot is usually only reserved for some type of big announcement that could have implications. So,
just playing devil's advocate here, Tim, because frankly, I'll be honest with you, there's probably going to be too many good sports. So I'm just going to change the channel. That's always worked for me. But do you think that there's any possibility that you get like a victory lap here on the Iran conflict? Because I know the big thing from the outset was that they can't have nuclear weapons, and it sure seems like that's been achieved, at least so far. So
okay.
Is there any chance that you think it's a positive tone rather than a negative one?
Look, here's the thing, guys. All right, we open the door. We're gonna walk through it.
Didn't even mean to do that. It was a good question.
Is there going to be a positive tone? Maybe, but just remember, any solution. First off, uranium. Iran's still got their uranium. Okay, so. Anything that doesn't involve complete regime change and control of the strait is a win for Iran. Okay, so I'm not sure. Now, there's EKS saying maybe he's going to weigh an exit from NATO. Maybe he'll announce an exit from NATO, which Is that the worst thing that ever happened? Maybe not at this point in juncture. So this is President Donald Trump. Anybody that thinks they know what he's going to say tonight is dreaming. And that probably includes Susie Wiles, who's sitting over in the corner of her office as chief of staff doing the same thing I'm doing, which is praying and hoping that it's a good speech that's uplifting for the economy and the markets tomorrow. So we'll see. I mean, it could be something positive. I have a feeling it's going to be unexpected.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see what that does for the market. I think that really is going to, today's closing candle on the SPY then is going to be made more important.
Could be, yes. Now, today we're going to do something a little bit different, Ryan. Normally we talk about some academic studies and we talk about different strategies and ideas. But this week I caught, it's in a bookstore. I spend a lot of time in bookstores. And I saw that the new edition of Fast Company was out. Now, Fast Company is a pretty good magazine, covers technology and innovation. And this is their World's Most Innovative Companies edition, which is pretty cool. And they rank companies all over the world. They feature their top 50, but there's like 250 companies in here that are at least mentioned or focused from various aspects. So I went through the list. It's a pretty cool list. There's not a lot of these are public companies. This will be a shocker to you, right? Most of them are private. Okay. But I mean, they really do some cool stuff. I'm just going to highlight. They said that this year what they're seeing is more infrastructure stuff, particularly on the technology side. A lot of frontier health and biotech, cultural taste and storytelling. And I mean, that's Reddit and proximity and something called Unwell. No idea what that is. Nintendo and so some other, just companies that are doing cutting edge type stuff. So I sit down and I went through and I looked at the ones that are in fact public companies. Now, these are the companies. This is 10 bagger hunting. Okay.
Okay. I like hearing that.
And maybe more, right? If you catch, because some of these are lower priced, newer companies. If you catch an innovative company at the beginning of the trend, kind of in the almost near venture capital stage of things. And then we start talking 50 to 1 and 100 to 1 and that type of thing. Kind of like Thomas Phelps talked about in his book, which if you haven't read Thomas Phelps, 100 to 1 on Wall Street, you're making a massive mistake. It is an older book, but everything in it holds true. He goes through and he looks at the companies that actually delivered 100 to 1 returns, and it's just this tiny little fraction of all the companies ever public, and he kind of identifies the traits and what you're looking for. And by the way, Henrik Bessenbinder released the update of his study on true wealth creation. Ready for this? Less than 3% of all stocks provide all the return over the risk-free rate. All of it over like this massive amount of time, which just kind of tends to shoot, true buy and hold, boom, right in the butt, right? And the attributes of a great company are not necessarily what you think they are.
Okay.
Anyway,
look, first of all, I thank you for going over the list. Can't wait to get your thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, we're not going to get to all of them.
No, just the ones that we can actually maybe trade and make some money on. That's perfect. Whittle it down. Do the work for us, Tim.
Well, we'll highlight a couple, and then I'll just start spitting out stickers as we get close to time. Because remember, the minute we hang up here, I'm slapping this computer close, turn it off. I'm jumping in the car. Tomorrow's Grandparents' Day.
This is your favorite day.
I am due in Baltimore, so we've got to pack up the dogs, off to Baltimore we go. Anyway, the company that really caught my eye, top of the list, and this is a foreign company, and it is Adidas, the tennis shoe company. And you corrected my pronunciation last night on that, Ryan, and I don't really care. It's been Adidas since I was a very small child. I don't care what you crazy kids are calling
it. What is the ticker on that again?
It's ADDYY.
ADDY. I knew it was one of those odd ones.
Yes, it is one of those odd ones. And I was like, all right, this is a tennis shoe company. Why are they getting this big, innovation? What's innovative about a tennis shoe? Well, it's a good shoe to start with, but this is marketing. right? This is an old school tennis shoe where they tapped into nostalgia around sports and brands. Okay. Um, and then Oasis, they featured the shoes, the band Oasis. And then I don't know if y'all noticed, because I can promise you I didn't, but Bad Bunny and all of the dancers at the Super Bowl show were wearing Adidas, a new shoe that's called the Bad Bow, I believe, Bad Bow. But Bad Bow 1.0 is actually selling very well. So Adidas has been doing all this cool marketing stuff. So I go in and I said, well, let's take a look at Adidas. Adidas is blowing the doors off of everything, right? And they've got the relationships with sports teams, including soccer leagues. You know, uh, 2025 revenues up 13%, double-digit growth in all markets, all channels. They're increasing the dividend by a cool 40% a year, and they bought back over $1.5 billion worth of stock. All right. So these guys kind of have it going on. They're really getting their act together. But here's what
Okay.
really caught my eye. I went into one of my databases, and I don't know how much we have on Benzinga Pro, Ryan, if you want to take a look. Um, but the current price to earnings ratio is almost 19. The forward PE ratio is just 9, which means that the earnings are expected to double this year.
Ah.
Okay. So this is actually, a pretty reasonably priced company for the amount of growth. 3 to 5 year estimated earnings growth is 21%. That sounds, like that's really great, but the trailing 3 years actually been 72%. So these guys kind of have it going on with the new dividend. It's going to be about a 2% dividend, but they are buying back stock. So you sit here, you look at Adidas, the stock has been down. It was
Hmm.
120, 130 late
Hmm.
this time last year. It's down to about $80. Um, some really interesting stuff going on with Adidas. So I thought that one was pretty cool. Then
Okay.
the next one is an
Now
old.
let me just throw this out here to the group. I know that there are always, no matter what presentation we do, there are always shoe people out there. Let me know what you think about this in terms of popularity of the shoe, whether or not you collect them. Let me know what you think about Adidas here. This is actually pretty interesting, and actually the chart looks like it might be at a support area, maybe a little bit lower here in the low 70s. But anyway, Tim,
Yeah,
continue.
now that you mention that, I should have called my son and asked him, because he's got more shoes than Imelda Marcos. I mean, this kid just, what
That's
do
saying
you,
something.
yeah, why do you need that many tennis shoes? It does not, doesn't compute for this old guy. So the next one up is Gilead, old school biotech here, GILD. Um, and Ryan, if you want to pull this up on Pro, we'll just kind of look at the news. We'll see if we see any reason. No, they're not necessarily lifting anything right off the top. But Gilead's doing a lot of stuff with cell therapy. They just bought a new company called Oro to get into the autoimmune markets. So they've got a lot going on. But they're not necessarily showing exactly why in their news release. Some of these companies do that. But again, we're at a 20 PE with a 14 forward PE. So you're looking for pretty large earnings growth. I mean, trailing 12 months, we're at 678. They're expecting $9.66 from these guys next year.
They've
Now,
made some acquisitions recently, so perhaps those acquisitions will be accretive to their earnings growth.
yeah, it looks like they've done a lot in the autoimmune space, and I'm just kind of going through here, and I am now very guilty of probably not taking a close enough look at Gilead, because it's biotech's just super tough spot to make money in.
Also, I
Uh,
noticed here no insider buying, which I know is a big trigger for you. Some recent insider selling, but it's I mean, I guess it's not
well,
too much.
no, and it's all proposed sale, and a lot of it's around options, so
Right.
it's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing terrible. Remember something: insider selling is not necessarily a red flag. These guys have this massive percentage of their net worth in the company's stock, so they need to diversify. They need to buy a new dream house. They need to pay for a kid's
Got it.
wedding. They need to pay for education, a whole bunch of stuff. They could be getting divorced. Who knows what the reason is? It may have nothing to do with the business of the company.
Okay.
So,
Real quick, just because I asked a question here, Tim, on Adidas here. Lion saying, Ryan, that chart is so ugly, I wouldn't touch it with Tim's money.
well,
Which,
that's okay because you'll never get near my money. And
here we go. I love that.
Yeah, the uglier the chart is, the more interested I start to get, guys. If you're remember, there's a massive difference in time frame. It doesn't make either one of us right or wrong, by the way. There's a difference in time frame from a trader who's relying mostly on technical stuff and a guy who's looking to buy a bargain and hold it for 4 or 5 years. If you ever want to score 100 to 1 company, right? You're going to have a longer time frame. 100 to 1 doesn't happen just overnight. So anyway, the next one up.
And one more thing, Tim, you had asked, why do people need all of these shoes? Dan here, this is the answer I was hoping to get. Dan saying, I collect them. I seem to meet more and more people that collect shoes. This is not something that's odd by any means at all. Dan also saying Adidas here, at least I think so. Dan, correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but I think you're saying they actually have a nice color palette on some of their shoes, which also kind of leads to the collecting angle there. But I just wanted to get you some answers from those direct questions. I'm sorry for breaking it up.
I can't judge you, Dan, because I collect sports memorabilia and Peanuts memorabilia. So I can, if you're into shoes, go get it. Now, next up, and this one actually kind of caught my eye earlier when I saw that Crossroads Capital, who does some pretty innovative stuff, was buying, and they bought Merlin, MRLN. Now, Merlin just finished a SPAC merger, which I love SPAC arbitrage. Most SPAC deals go to, they'd go to sub-zero if they could, but Merlin's kind of interesting, and the new breed of SPACs is a little bit more interesting as well. Merlin's doing airplanes. They're doing autonomous airplanes,
autonomous flight software. You know what, Tim?
Yeah.
Really sorry for interrupting again, but I'm surprised we don't talk about this at least a little bit when we talk about things like Joby and Archer, which are the eVTOLs. This still seems like autonomous flight software, maybe for those.
No. Look, here, those markets may happen. Okay, you won't catch me flying on one of them, but they might happen.
Either.
They may be back.
Fair enough.
Here's where Merlin Pilot and all autonomous flight software matters. Military aircraft. Okay. At the end of World War II, Japan could still build airplanes. What they couldn't do was train pilots. We had shot down and killed all of their trained pilots. All right. They could have probably, they couldn't manufacture many, but they could have gotten planes. They couldn't get pilots. So the quality of their pilot deteriorated. China is doing a lot with this. We are doing a lot with this. And this is kind of one of those things where you really want to be the winner. And this is what could turn Merlin and companies like it into not just 100 to 1. You could be talking Moonshot, Nvidia, lifetime of Microsoft. You could be talking, a gajillion to 1, literally, because this could be absolutely massive. And this is why it caught my eye. This is one of those future of warfare things. Now, they are doing work with the military. They're doing some stuff with civilian. I think military is way bigger, and they specifically talk about it in their press release announcing the deal that they're using it to fly C-130Js, which are military aircraft. So this could actually be huge. All right. And they say, look, this is going to be the operating system of record for the sky, designed to power the next generation of both military and civil aviation. They're working with U.S. Special Operations Command. They're signing an agreement with the United States Air Force to provide advanced autonomous capabilities for contested environments. And they're working with GE Aerospace in Northrop. Look, I'm not a growth guy. I'm not a story guy. I'm probably, the next time I look and see that this stock is down a bit, probably going to stick a couple of this in one of the retirement plans and just wait and see what happens.
Okay. I was just taking a look. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. If these guys get it right, and I get it, it's a busted SPAC. However, the other thing that you need to know, they apparently had a 100% equity conversion of the founder's stake in this deal, which doesn't usually happen in SPACs. Usually that equity link takes their money and gets out, right? Everybody converted to equity apparently. That's huge, guys. And then they upsized the pipe by more than a factor of two. This is telling me this ain't your run of the mill five guys in a garage SPAC. This could be huge. Now they're sitting on all that SPAC cash.
Real quick here, Corey, who is our resident pilot in the chat, by the way, Merlin made regional turboprop aircraft, never flew one, but they had the nickname the Death Tube. Hopefully that changes. Also, I was just taking a look at their financials here. Last year lost $414 million. Yeah.
This, yes, they're still losing money. They're still spending money. But, Merlin and any other company that is doing work in here is going to be worth a look, because this, again, it's the Palmer Luckey kind of future of warfare thing. War is with us always. Been there since Abel hit Cain with the rock, or Cain hit somebody hit somebody with a rock. I forget which one it was. I think it was Cain hit Abel.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I mean, right. I just always get that story backwards, and I don't want to accuse the wrong guy of being the rock killer. So, but it's been with us since the absolute beginning of time. Okay, it gets advanced. Having the ability to conduct military operations autonomously, particularly in the sky, is going to be huge. If Merlin's going to be a player in this, then the stock could be a massive. And remember, I didn't go through this. I didn't just stumble and say they're really cutting edge. They're really innovative. The guys at Fast Company did, and they are probably a little bit better at this than I am.
Okay. I rarely hear that from Tim, so that's notable too.
Yeah, one more I want to spit out here before we get into, because I was surprised to see it on the list, because I know the company, I know it well, made a little bit of money with it, and that's ABM. Okay, and ABM, they do business operations. Okay, that's business and building operations. It's called specialty building. The symbol is ABM. They clean airports. They run parking businesses. They clean HVAC and lighting and facility services. They clean airplanes, right? When you get off the plane and people come running in to clean it, quite often that's ABM. They do parking and shuttle operations. They do the electrical infrastructure. They provide EV charging stations at airports. They're big in factories. They do a ton of schools, right, where they do the facility cleaning, landscaping, turf management. A lot of colleges hire them, take care of all the trash. So you think, wow, what is this company, right? I mean, they're picking up trash and cleaning grids, but they're doing battery storage systems. They're doing all kinds of cool stuff. But the real thing that they're doing here, and the reason they're getting this Innovative Systems Award, is they are using machine learning and artificial intelligence to manage buildings, right? To manage the HVAC operations. They're using AI, IoT sensors, and operational data to get to manage building performance. So you get preventative maintenance. So you fix stuff before it breaks. You're able to control your costs on energy, on HVAC. So buildings running more efficiently, safely, more effectively, and more cost effectively, most of all. So this is real cool. And they're at LaGuardia in Terminal B, and anybody that can keep LaGuardia operational is okay by me, because that's just a difficult airport. And then I used a very nice word there. So there's some very cool companies on here, but we're going to run out of time, Ryan. So I'm going to start doing some ticker tossing.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? All right, ABSI. This is that is a biotech company trading at $3. So you low price stock junkies, have at it. That could be a good one. ALLY is Analim Pharmaceuticals. It's a biotech, but it's at $3.30, so not so cheap.
Wait, ALLY?
ALNY.
NY. I'm sorry, my man.
Yep. And then AMPL, Amplitude, which has, Amplitude's been around for a while, and it's had its ups and its downs, but here it is. It's on here now. And it's worth reading their press release, by the way, because they've got some kind of cool stuff going on. Um, then AUR, Aurora Innovation.
We've traded that one here.
And look, there's a school of thought. I read some interviews with the guys at some of the big growth shops, including some venture capital guys. They could be the winner in driverless trucks. All right. They, from a technology and from a relationship and a contact, they've kind of got it going on. They're a tech leader at the clubhouse term. So AUR $4 stock could get to be really interesting. The, BC Brunswick, which really, okay, there's a shocker, right? They make motors. They make boat motors for the most part. So they do marine engines. They jet skis, just Sea Ray, Bayliner. They've got some of the big hitters as far as lines. And by the way, they had a monster earnings report last night. Mercury Marine is up to 70% outboard engine sales. Boston Whaler, Sea Ray also huge revenue jumps and did real well at the West Palm Boat Show. So again, a company that you don't think of as being particularly innovative because, I mean, they're boats, right?
No, and what's funny is that when you first brought this up, I had the same thought Big Bees did. Do they make bowling balls?
No, I don't think they do anymore. I think they sold that division, but I too remember the days. Then another one that I find very interesting because I'm kind of a freak on education, and that's Coursera. And Coursera they've got a lot going on. They're merging with Udemy in an all-stock deal that's going to create a very interesting company.
What was the ticker on the? I'm sorry, dude. You have to help me with this.
No, that's okay. That's my fault. COUR. Yeah, and they're merging with Coursera, and obviously Coursera. They offer courses, right? But they're merging with Udemy, who is another same size company. They're out of Mountain View in San Francisco, California. But they're going to be bringing AI-driven learning to help people master in-demand skills. So I think that this is going to be a very cool company going forward. And again, this is one of those venture capital-like propositions. If they make it, if they survive, if this works, and there's a couple ifs in there, but if it does, this return will not be measured in percentages. It will be measured in multiples. So that's another cool one. I don't know what the hell Newell Rubbermaid NWL is doing on this list. If somebody's got the time, track it down. I'd love to figure it out because they are a Tupperware competitor, basically. NUVB is another biotech. And again, it's a $4 biotech. So and it looks like they're doing some pretty cool stuff. They just got some licensing rights in Japan. They're doing novel therapeutics, difficult to treat forms of cancer. The fact that it makes this list means that they're cutting edge in something. So again, probably worth a deeper peek if you're into biotech stocks. And then Renovex, RNXT. Here you go, guys. Penny stock lovers unite. It is a $1 biotech.
What was the ticker again?
RNXT.
RNXT. Sorry, I'm having trouble discerning the letters from you this morning.
That's all right. And I'm talking too fast. I'm speaking Baltimoreese. So, and they're doing targeted delivery of chemotherapy for solid tumors. That is all the publicly traded companies here in the United States that are easily traded. Worth noting that Aptiv and L'Oreal are publicly traded in Europe and might be worth a list. L'Oreal is considered a very high quality stock in France. And I can tell you by looking in my wife's medicine cabinet, they sell a lot of stuff.
And your wife has a lot of those products.
Stuff that does stuff, and I don't know what all that stuff does. And honestly, I don't want to know. Never have.
Okay, so thanks for running down this list again. Just to recap, in case anyone joined late, this was Fast Company's list of best companies. What was it again?
Most innovative.
Most innovative. Excuse me. Most innovative. I knew I was going to get that wrong.
And I see that somebody said that Big Bays said that they are still making the bowling balls. So there you go. I had no idea that Brunswick was still making bowling balls, but
I don't know how the bowling ball market is, but
that's got to be a niche market that they've just hung on to.
I would imagine
That can't be a massive market. It's not like in the 60s when there was a bowling alley on every corner. So
yeah.
anyway, this is
fun.
yeah.
Controversial opinion, I guess.
I probably skipped because Google and some other big companies were on there.
That's okay. We talk about Google every day anyway. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't see it worth mentioning. Look, it's still on the newsstands. It's it's $12 I paid for this. It's probably worth just picking it up. I'm looking to see if I'm any Google, Nvidia, Shopify, Databricks, Walmart is on the list, and that's kind of the only Cloudflare, and that's the only really big ones that I missed. Nintendo's on the list. They do trade deep over the counter with an ADR, but as you can see, we got to like 5 companies today, so we didn't have time to get all the way down. Get a worth your time to pick it up and read it. There's a lot of stuff going on there that we don't even tend to think about in industries that we would not think of as innovative. PFFA, buy the dip. Interest sensitive. Jay Hatfield is one of the absolute best preferred stock managers out there. He buys and trades preferred stocks exactly the way I do, buying them at a discount to par and eventually selling them when they get back closer to par. He's very credit sensitive, a brilliant guy. PFFA, one of the better income ETFs out there, and it's trading down with bonds. It's probably worth picking up a position on dips.
Okay. All right, Tim, really good stuff here today. Do me a favor. Enjoy grandparent week or day.
It's only that. I love my granddaughter to death. I could not do a week of the second grade. Not again. Did it once, not doing it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Have a great week. Happy Easter, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Well, we won't. That's what I was going to say. We actually will not next week. Just as a reminder to everybody out there, just because of a work meeting here, no show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. So, Tim, take the morning off. Do what you need to do, but do me a favor. Come up with some other good stock picks.
A morning off with no need for surgical preparations. I'm excited. Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, you got it.
Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Really good stuff, Tim. Take care of yourself. We'll catch up with you next time. All right. Tim's departure leaves room for 13. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Oh, you know what? Let me actually play the intro there. Pre-market pulse with 13 starts right now. No, 13. No, I will not deny you your intro. I will not.
Okay, I was just going to say my red carpet was
your intro for sure.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
All right.
How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing?
I think we're feeling okay. We're definitely doing okay. That much I can confirm. But I think we're feeling okay. How you feeling, chat? Here, you want to know how people are feeling? We did a poll, 13, and I'm going to deliver the results of that poll. We asked, what's your move today? And you had 4 choices: going long, sitting in cash, swing trade, or going short. Here's where the group sits. 43% of the group says they're going long today. 25% says they're sitting on cash. 19% says they're going to try and swing trade. And 13% of them say they're going to go short today. So that's how the group is doing in terms of what they're looking at.
So it sounds like we're more bullish than bearish.
Sounds like it. And looking at the pre-market here, we're up 0.38% on the futures. We actually pulled off of the pre-market high, but still holding in the green. So it sure seems like folks are bullish, at least so far. We'll see if that changes.
Yeah, I need some more convincing that we are recovering. Want to see a recapture of that 200-day SMA. That give me some confidence, but we could still run into some resistance and turn around. And this situation in Iran not finished. It's great that we have the Iranian leadership over there starting to want to come to the negotiating table and wanting to stop the war, but the war still goes on. It still persists, and even if it did end today, it doesn't automatically repair all the damage that's been done to the oil infrastructure globally. So I don't think that we're quite out of the woods yet, but it looks like we might be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay. All right. We shall see. And we're going to have that press conference or speech or whatever here tonight. So let's pound these movers here.
Let's do it.
First one I have is going to be CYCN. You guys already know Brent's been trading this already here this morning. See, I think Kathy was on this too. It just recently took another leg up here. CYCN. Here's what's going on. Cyclerion, I believe is how you pronounce it. Cyclerion Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company announced it entered into a definitive merger agreement with Corsana Biosciences. So Cyclerion and Corsana Biosciences announced, an all-stock merger of $380 million private financing to advance an Alzheimer's drug. So you're getting a really good reaction to this, plus 222% today. It's actually taken an impulse move and then another leg higher here today, 13. Taking a peek at the short interest when it loads here, 2.66% versus, and I'm sorry, man, I'm struggling this morning. 2.66% with 1.89 days to cover. That's against an average volume of 1.48 million. It's done 87 million shares here today. 87 million. Float on this 3.13 million. What do you think on CYCN here, 13?
Not quite sure where this ends up running to. From here, the next area that I'd be looking at for resistance is going to be $6 in that area. But when this does end up merging in the all-stock merge that you mentioned, this will experience a ticker change. It will go to KRSA. That 380 million private placement, I think that's what it's moving mostly on here. So when the companies do have, they're going to have a pretty massive cash position to advance their Alzheimer's drug. And then you have the 318 million share float, which is, very small, and it allows it to have these kinds of moves. So I really don't know how high this is going up. I don't think that there's any real risk of share dilution happening here because they're about to merge and they're going to have a whole lot of cash to gain with that. So it wouldn't make sense for them to do any kind of capital raise at this point. So I just would be looking for targets, upside targets here. And it looks to me like $6 is the next one.
Okay, pulling back right now to the 9 EMA. We'll see. Oh, this is yeah, I was going to say that's a phantom candle because I actually have the same chart here in my broker. That did not happen. So right now it's pulling back to the 9 EMA. I actually also have a very, very small fair value gap there, but I wouldn't trade or trust that one. I would wait this one out, see if we get a better pullback here.
You do get a bit of a support area coming down looks like under 420, maybe 405. Just above the VWAP. The VWAP's still underneath 4 right now, but that would be the next two areas to the downside that I'd be looking at for support.
Okay. All right. Next one on the list here is going to be BCG. This is Bana Capital Group. They reported earnings yesterday. This spiked in the after hours. Actually had another impulse move higher and then another impulse move higher this morning. And you know what that means, 13. Indeed, we have a trend line that we can connect these top targets with. This might give us an intraday target if this thing has some more continued momentum. Right now, it's riding the 65 EMA beneath the VWAP, but that actually gives target 1 if this thing really starts to trade higher. Again, trading higher after the company reported a year-over-year increase in its Q4 financial results. We take a look at the short interest on this name. Oh, man, I'm going to have to pre-click here. This delay is killing me. Nothing on the short interest, 0.6%. So literally 43,000 shares total held short. That's nothing versus a float of 7.2 million. 7.9 days to cover, but I don't think that's going to matter here today. Stock on average trades 35,000 shares. It's done 18 million here today, which is more than 2x the float. I think we'll probably be all right with that. What do you think here, 13, on BCG?
Yeah, so this one might be a little bit easier. It's got support at the 65 EMA and resistance will be at VWAP. Company has cash and revenue, so I don't think that there's really any risk here of them needing to raise. I think they just became profitable not too long ago, but they still have a good amount of cash. They have a pretty good amount of revenue, so it doesn't seem like likely to me that they're going to need to raise capital. This share structure is 7.28 million shares in the float, and I don't really have a whole lot more beyond that. I'm just waiting to see if we can recapture VWAP. That's really where I'm at right now. Support 65 EMA, VWAP resistance. Looks like the MACD is starting to curl up on the 5 minutes, so we might get another test of the VWAP coming soon here.
Yeah, and actually, it looks like this is trying to curl up the 65 EMA, so that VWAP target makes a lot of sense. Real quick here, Jay saying, I'm going to put my entire cash balance in Nike here today. That's got to be an April Fool's joke.
Well, no, hold on. I think
Jay.
he's playing the bounce. I think he's playing the bounce because this had a big hit overnight. So
no, he's. I don't think he's actually doing that.
Okay. If he's joking, then that's a great joke. But there might be a trade in Nike for a brief bounce, a quick in and out. But that's probably about as much as you'd want to play it for now.
Yeah. Okay. Next one here. This is one that we've traded before. Be very careful with this one. We've seen a lot of shady shenanigans, I want to call it. This is ticker TRUG, True Golf Holdings. This thing spiked to 750 earlier today, came all the way back in and went red. Got no news on this here. Looks like they had a Form NT10K yesterday. Maybe there's something coming out of that. True Golf here. You got anything on this one, or can we just skip it?
It didn't cover it, but it looks like they did do a 1-for-10 reverse split earlier this. Maybe it must have been last week, but they did do that. If I look at their cash, they're still losing cash, and they don't have a whole lot more to stay afloat. Not a big runway, so I would think that this is probably. I haven't seen anything that they're trying to go through some kind of compliance. But I think that a capital raise may be coming next. I just couldn't say exactly when.
Okay. All right. Next here, I've got ticker TH. This is Target Hospitality. Target Hospitality shares are trading higher after the company announced a new multi-year contract with a hyperscaler to provide full turnkey support for the data center hub in Texas. Also, the company raised its preliminary fiscal year 26 sales guidance. So pretty good piece of news there. Impulse move has gone higher here. It sure looks like 13 is the resistance, not the price. And it does look like so far here it's held the 15 EMA. Now, we don't look at this stock a lot, but 8% of the float is shorted here with 4.83 days to cover. So there's something in there in terms of the short interest, but it's not crazy. Float of 32 million. On average, it trades under 500,000 shares. Today, it's done 1.5 million prior to the open. You have any thoughts here on ticker TH?
The $550 million contract's nice. And they also provided the preliminary guidance that you mentioned here. This company operates in 3 segments because I was like, wait, hospitality? How does that work with data centers? And apparently they have 3 different segments that they report. Their FHS, their WHS, and their government contracts. WHS is the one that provides construction and hospitality solutions for critical mineral and data center projects. So I think that's where the angle comes from. As far as where this is going to trade to, we've had a really nice move, almost up to $13, as you were pointing out. But if we continue this weakness here that we're starting to get after hitting 1293, I'd be looking at VWAP for support. I think you have your fair value gap much lower down around, what, 1060?
You got it right in here, 13. That's it.
So that would be quite a fall if we can't hold VWAP. But for now, I think this would be one I would just kind of wait and see what happens at the open. I think they are okay on cash, but there's still a possibility that they might need to raise. They do have revenue, but they also do lose quite a bit. And I don't think they have enough cash on hand to go another quarter. But I want to get through their next earnings, because with their preliminary guidance they provided, the cash situation may not be as bad as I'm thinking it is.
Got it. Okay, good stuff there on TH. We'll see what we end up getting. The next one here, I've got RENX, RENX. This is RENX Enterprises. This spiked here this morning. 260 looks to be the high print there. Came back in a little, but didn't completely break down. Taking a look and seeing if we have any news here. Indeed, it beats revenue guidance, delivers $8.2 million in post-acquisition revenue while completing a full platform build-out and retiring $11.9 million in legacy debt. So it looks like they delivered more revenue, retired debt. This is a pretty good start here. Stock's up 27% here today, so we'll see if we get some more action on this. 14.19% of the float shorted with 1 day to cover. On average, stock trades 1.5 million shares, done 23.5 million today versus a float of 2.14 million. You think there's anything here with ticker RENX?
This is another one that just regained compliance, or I think is trying to. They did the 1-for-20 reverse split, and that was on this news on March 24th, was to regain listing compliance. So I didn't look at this one, but if we've been a viewer of this show before, when you see a stock going through compliance, it usually means 2 things: reverse splits and capital raises. So that could be coming next with RenX. They might do an offering. I think that'd be the next step for them, and it looks like they need it too.
Okay, RenX. Keep that on the back burner. Next here, BIAF, Biofinity Technologies. I feel like we traded this one recently, although I can't place it. Biofinity Technology shares are trading higher after the company announced a year-over-year increase in its Q1 CyPath lung diagnostic unit sales. We spiked as high as 580. We're above the VWAP here. Let me take a quick peek at the short interest on this name, 12.14%. So there's something there, but it's not a terrible amount, or not a huge amount, I should say. On average, trades 8.5 million. We've done 3 million here today. Floats 4.4. What do you think?
Let's see here. I'm just looking at the chart at the moment, and it looks like 5 is going to be potentially the resistance area. If you look at go to a 15-minute chart, so you can kind of see some of the other days. This is shown this month that it does like to go up to 5, and then once it does, it sells off. You have to kind of back out a little bit so you can see multiple days, but there you go. So this trying to get through this trying to get through 5s ever since getting up here. So maybe today is the day. I don't know. But if we do go beyond 5, we have that 538 high, and then I've got a level above that I marked off from one of the last times we traded this up at 685. Not sure if we'll get up there, but that could be the next area we could explore for a target if we do get past 538.
Okay, the only other one here on the list that I wanted to just mention is because it got asked about. This is Elab. We talked about this one yesterday. It gave a huge move at the end of the day and actually was still going in the after hours, as you had mentioned there on the happy hour. We're pulling back here today. It's still up 15% from yesterday's close, but again, pay attention to the intraday chart there. It's already on its way back. We've got no fresh news on this. What do you think? This one's going to come back in today, you think?
Maybe. I think this is going on the Turbojet news. They had a 5-year contract to supply parts to Turbojet. I don't know where this is going to go, to be honest. Let me look at a different chart here real quick. I was only looking at this yesterday because in the pre-market I saw this was starting to get some activity, and I was like, oh, this might be good later. It was. And now we might be looking for some support areas. So give me 1 second here. Let me see if some of these trend lines work. That one doesn't. It might just be a situation of we're going to come down to the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, and we'll see what happens there. Maybe we turn around, we get support. I can't say for sure. I don't know where this is going today, but that would be the next area of support I'd be looking at.
I extended the trend line from Friday's after hours and Monday's pre-market. That might give us a support. It's right by the 65 EMA, so we'll see if we end up getting that. Okay, that's all I had for the movers, unless you had something else.
Nope.
All right, let's go back to the big chart. Lion, you can take a deep breath now. We're done with the penny stock movers that you absolutely hate so much. Deep breath, buddy. You made it. What we'll do here is we'll start with Nike. I understand you were warning people yesterday on Nike. I feel like our group has been warning people on Nike for as long as I can remember. Stock really just seems completely out of favor. Not only the stock, but the products themselves. Talked about this a lot on happy hour yesterday. It was bad on happy hour, and 13, it's got worse here this morning. Nike down 11.6% on the back of its earnings here. Company issued Q4 sales guidance below estimates, as we outlined earlier. I see a number of folks talking about Nike here. Jay, you were mentioning that retail's been tough, not just Nike, so really the entire sector's here. Remember, Lion said he wouldn't buy Nike with Tim Melvin's money, which was something else there. So I guess the question here is, seems like most people are bearish on Nike, given the recent move. Is there anyone that's bullish on it or sees a possible entry point? While we wait for those answers, 13, what do you think about the price action here, and what do you think about the chart?
So the thing with Nike is their inventory. That's been their biggest problem.
Yeah.
They have a lot of old inventory to get through, some tariffed inventory as well.
Yep.
And that's going to put pressure on their margins. And it could still be some time before they completely unwind all that. So that's where the pressure on the company is going to continue to come from, I think. But aside from competition, but there could be a situation where the valuation just becomes so low that it just becomes incredibly attractive to some activist or maybe some other company that I don't know what company would buy Nike, because it's, I think, the largest apparel company out there at the moment, maybe one of the biggest. So it'd be a hefty price tag if somebody were to pick it up, but there could be a situation where you get some kind of activist investor to come in and want to shake things up. But the bottom for this could still be lower. I think some of us were talking in the 40s, like the low 40s as support. So I don't exactly know where the bottom is, but I think at some point this is going to be too attractive to ignore.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of good thoughts here from the chat. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you, folks. Excuse me. Glenn saying bids at 30.63 for Nike. I don't know. Are those your bids? Is it bids you're seeing out there? Let me know. Jay here saying, as far as Nike goes, don't tie up capital. If you think it's bottomed, buy a few long-term leaps. Lion's done that a few times before on other stocks. That might be a way to still have some upside exposure without maybe tying up too much of that capital. Kind of like that. What else do we have here? Spiro Bill, appreciate you. I have a trend line on Nike that would be 44.46. So it sounds to me like that would be a support area, a possible support area for Nike down there. That sounds pretty good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, yeah, thank you, producer. Nike CEO says the turnaround will, quote, take a while, end quote. We discussed something like this with Intel. This might be one of those situations where the ship is too big.
Yep. I said that yesterday. It just could be the situation. It's just a big ship to right, because I was pointing out how the CEO has been there for almost 18 months now and hasn't really been able to so much, go, hard to port. So it's going to take some time. And I think what you might start to get some more interest if we do end up getting rate cuts this year, because now the dividend yield is over 3%. Pretty high for Nike at this stage, because it's and that might be the situation where this becomes one of those interesting value plays if we continue with rate cuts. And this could be still later on down the year, but like I was saying, at some point, the valuation is going to be so low that it'll be hard to ignore.
Okay. Ed Edwards says, just sell it. I like it. Jay, with that being said, it does remind me of Intel. You stole that, Ryan. Look, Jay, oftentimes I'll say something here and you say, I posted that an hour ago. Not this time. Gotcha. Lion here saying, let Nike settle. Lion, let me know if you think that there's a price in which it is going to settle at. We'll see on that. All right. What other stocks do you folks want to take a look at? We talked a little bit about Nike. I did see someone mention Restoration Hardware, ticker RH. I mentioned that in the news rundown here earlier. The one thing about this one, this is actually getting worse the closer we get to the open here, down 23% here. It was actually down like 18% last night. So down more here today. We talked about this yesterday. This, is the affluent consumer. So maybe we're starting to see some type of wealth effect, maybe bleed through on the market. I extended a trend line 13. I think you and I talked about this. I added the one that we talked about yesterday, but I think we also talked about this steeper trend line. We'll see. Maybe that'll provide some support. That thing's down in the 70 handles though.
Yeah, it could be 75. I mean, it lines up pretty well with the lows from 2020. So maybe that's about where the bottom could be. I think we were also talking about maybe 100 could be a support area as well. So that's what I think we discussed yesterday. But we also talked about how this is hitting the affluent consumer, and when they get their statements for the first quarter, there's going to probably be a lot of concern and panic as 401ks are going to be lower as a result of the market selling off.
Okay. So that's RH. We'll see. What else do you folks want to see here?
Folks mentioning Shaz and Deft.
Shaz, what's going on with this Shaz? I think we've got a couple of mentions there. Sharon AI. Holdings are trading higher after the company announced the signing of a 5-year TCV AI infrastructure segment with ESDS Software Solutions. Okay, so we're getting a
1.25 billion contract.
Yeah, 1.25 billion. Yep. AI cloud infrastructure agreement. Okay, that reads well. Stock's up 14% on that. I don't know that I've looked at this stock here before. I don't have a short reading on it. I don't have a float reading on it. Stock doesn't trade a whole lot. On average, it only trades 169,000. We're barely at 200,000 prior to the open.
Yeah, that contract
kind of thin on this name here.
Might just not be noticed. I mean, but it's holding above the 20-day SMA, which is a good sign. It looks like this could come up higher. Let's see what happens at 24 if it gets up there. Oh, I'm sorry, we're past that. So let's see what we get at. I would say maybe 26 or 27. You know, where we started peaking earlier this month.
Okay.
If we can get past that, that'd be pretty fantastic. We might even go up into the 30s.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this 27 really kind of stands out to me, 13. I think you're right on that.
So nice support that we're getting there from the 20-day SMA. And that contract, man, that's like 3 times the market cap of the company. So we could really see this thing move, but I don't know anything about it, so I don't know how great this is going to be. But that's kind of what I'd be leaning towards. Is we'll see what happens at 27.
Yeah, good stuff. Eric, thanks for bringing this up. A recent IPO here. They had a deal with NUAI, but they pulled out earlier. Okay, I appreciate that. All right, Ondas. That was another mention here. I know we've covered this a bunch. This is just one that I've been in for a long time here. Ondas, really nice bounce yesterday. We pulled back down towards the 200. I'm just glad that we didn't break the 200. Looks like we might be setting up for a recapture of the 100-day. I've got that value at 973. So we'll see if we get some more continued bounce action here. Ondas up another 3% in the pre-market.
I keep an eye on that 50-day SMA. Since we lost that level back in the beginning of February, it has been a challenge to recapture it. So I think the 50-day SMA is the moving average you're going to want to keep the closest eye on.
Okay. Anything else? Did I miss anything here? Carlos, QNTM. That actually feels like a mover, not a big stock. Am I right on that? Quantum Biopharma. Yeah, it's a $4 stock here. Was up 12% yesterday and some in the pre-market. Here's what it looks like inside. So it was up yesterday. Let's see if there was any news on this. This morning, submits an IND application to the FDA for Lucid 21302, its new drug candidate for multiple sclerosis.
Wow. Okay. We'll see what the FDA does, but that's interesting. Hopefully it works out. Would love to, eradicate that issue. I have family that have MS. It's not great. QNTM, not really moving a whole lot. So don't know if we're going to get a lot of great volume. We still have more than a minute. Let me look at the chart here real quick. Looks like a lot more activity was happening on Monday. But I would use Monday's price action as a kind of a model of where this the price today might go. Looks like 550 is going to be a resistance area. So if we continue to climb up there, let's see if we get enough volume to break through that level. And we're approaching the open, so that would be a possibility. That's what I'd be looking at here with QNTM. What happens at the open? Do we get above 550?
Okay. And then last one here before we move over to the open. Lion says Boeing looks good. Boeing here actually down to its 500. Looks like it tried to bounce off of that. That also makes us hold the trend line that originated from the high in 2019. So I'm encouraged that we continue to make higher lows here. That's good. I don't know that I necessarily trust Boeing. I wanted to like this one, especially for this year. This is a trend I would like to see not break here. See if we can get back up towards 250. 200, we're above 200 here. We're up 2%. So maybe it can hold on to 200. Lion, what kind of trade do you have going on Boeing? Is that a long-term? Is that a leap trade? I can't remember if you've told us about that before. But Lion likes Boeing.
Yeah, I think this is tough, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but
I know
this might come back up to the 20-day SMA where it could possibly get rejected, but there's such support down in the 190s. I'm not sure we're going to fall too far, but we'll see. I mean, I don't even want to make that prediction that we're going to get rejected at the 20 because MACD's.
Okay.
All right, we're open.
We are open. Boeing out of the gate. First move here is up out of the gate.
All right, looks like RenX broke a trend line that we had there when it was flagging. Just be careful with this one. The company still needs cash. TH going higher. I'm just going to call this one since it's.
That's not going to be confusing at all.
BCG lower. It lost the 65 EMA. It's now down at the 200. And CYCN, SIA.
Yeah, SIA is right. That thing's popping here. All right, 13. I'm going to step away for just 1 sec. I'll be right back, buddy.
Sounds good. I'm just going to take a look at all the other ones we were looking at here. So, okay, so CN, seeing a seller in the way up at 609. Now we're pulling back underneath VWAP. Okay, so TH still climbing, 1325. Now the new high, and this could still potentially climb higher. Have some pretty good volume going here. If we do climb higher, it looks to me like we could reach into the middle of 14 if this volume holds up. RENX, we're coming up to the pre-market highs now. 266. We've got a seller in the way at 260, so a little more volume. We can push through that. ELAB trying to come up. It's testing the 65 EMA right now. Not sure about this one. We had a lot of great movement already this week. I don't know if we're going to get a continuation of that. But QNTM, this is also pushing up here. So there it goes through almost 550. We got up to 547. So we did end up testing that area where I want this to break out. Haven't got the breakout move yet. Just keep an eye on it. All right. Now we're getting a little bit of pullback here on some of these names. QNTM, there we go through 550. And we're climbing higher. Fantastic. All right. Zom bounce, nice.
Okay, sorry, 13. Appreciate you covering there. I'm back now.
So we got our breakthrough of 550 in QNTM. That one's still going. It's just moving slowly. RenX putting in a new high here as well. This one also moving on, it's got a very low float, but just keep in mind this one does need cash. TH is also going higher, or it was.
I can't believe you're like actually trying it. That's the most impressive part.
Because it's so stupid. It's funny to me. So 1325 still the high. Trying to struggle its way up higher. We're looking for the middle of 14 if it can get the volume. Looks like BCG is recovering after going underneath the 200 EMA, and CYCN is come right back down after hitting 659.
TH, that's popping to the highs here. UGRO getting mentioned by Kathy. Someone was asking about this earlier. Yeah. This is also curling here.
UGRO looking good. My drone battery play AMPX has been fantastic since yesterday. I picked this up at 1550 before it had this breakout of this trend that it was in, and it just took off. But
Nike more lows.
Yep. RenX continuing to go higher, knocking on the door of 3. Gosh, just be careful with that one. I would hate to see that just suddenly drop an offering.
Yeah, just yank all the way back down to the VWAP, flush people. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, when it
I'm
comes
mentioning
to
Marvell.
When it comes to RenX, it's one that you probably would just want to continue to raise your stop in case it just pulls on you.
Lion, I asked you yesterday while Marvell was pulling back what you thought about it, and you had said this is one that you should hold. That ended up being great. This is 10 points higher from that call Lion made just yesterday about hanging on to Marvell amidst the pullback. 10 points higher here. Ondas calls, 1,200 calls going off here, 141K. Those expire in June. 11 calls. Wow, Light 850. Those are the 850 calls. Those expire July. That is an out of the money call buy there. 1.4 million spent on that. 122 contracts.
This thing is
Lite, L-I-T-E. Man.
Yeah, this thing has been having some massive moves in September.
A lot of those optical names, just incredible.
It's a great theme. Got to let computers see. BIAF.
Especially if they're going to be doing everything for us, they got to be able to see the real world. You're right about that.
BIAF, after hitting the 65 EMA, it's turned around, recaptured VWAP, and is trying to come back up. Volume needs to be better, though. Looks like CYCN still printed the 659 as the high. We're struggling with the VWAP right now.
Now, Wiss here is saying this is going to go higher. So, Wiss, do you have a target at all? This showing us the momentum here. I mean, I know it could pull back here, but so far, a lot of upward momentum. Even on this pull from the high, it's not like a big breakdown.
Higher as in we're going to like come down to a support area from the pre-market, like what, like 515 or 415, like one of those.
Wait, what?
I'm talking about CYCN, the levels, like when it comes back in, because he's saying that this is going to go.
Oh, again. I see. You're asking what is the level it's going to come back into. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Like I said, 13, I might be struggling a little bit here today. I'm not sure.
How much coffee have you had today?
The normal 2 cups, frankly. So I'm right in line. It is Schlump Day, though. So this is what it is.
Up it up to 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I will. I will have my third in the afternoon. You're not wrong.
All right.
Intel straight up out of the gate here today. Jay mentioning semis having a nice follow through after yesterday. We'll see if that keeps up here. SPY looks like 655 now. Looks like it tried to go to 656, which was about the pre-market high. Couldn't really take that out. Yeah, 656. We'll see if we can get above that. The curl on the SPY pretty good though, on the S&P futures as well.
Looks like we're trying to push higher with CYCN. $6 appears to be that spot that's giving it trouble to go higher. So let's get a little bit more volume and see what happens. 659 the current high. Support around 580. Next leg 684. Okay. Actually, we kind of got that already. Yeah. We kind of got that already, right? The 580, and now I think this might be the move to 684. You tell me, Wiz. It's looking like we're about to get it.
Morning, Matthew. You're watching from Florida. Are you on vacation?
Oh,
if
fantastic.
so, enjoy it, buddy. Thanks for joining us on vacation too. If that's what you did, that's heart and upfield vision, as they say. I love it.
Well, now we're got to get through 619, the seller that's in the way there with CYCN. Look left on the daily chart. Let's do that. Is that where you're getting your levels from?
Yeah, look at that. Billy's exactly right. As per usual. Nice stuff, Billy.
Actually, I like, okay, so I see where you're talking about with that the high 690s, almost 7. There's this area from October of 2022 that the price got support. But when we lost that level in March of 2023, it became support. I'm sorry, resistance. So now that's a big resistance area. If we manage to get through that, there's still some more resistance up at 8.
Okay.
Good catch.
G-Man mentioning Intel. Intel flying to the moon today. This thing's straight up out of the gate. We'll see if we get to 50 there. Lion mentioning Broadcom from yesterday. So with the tech follow through, be unsurprised to see Broadcom doing the same thing here today, up another 1.6%. Broadcom, another good move there. Marvell, same deal, 104 now on Marvell.
And
we are getting L being mentioned by Brian. That's also on the list. Sorry, 13.
We are getting a pull here in RenX. This might be coming down to the 260s, maybe 265. That could possibly be support, but just keep in mind this one does need cash. There could be an offering coming on this one. QNTM new highs again, 569 now. That's not doing anything. CYCN coming back in a little bit underneath VWAP. QNTM, this one is doing pretty good. Let me see if I can get in a level here where this might go to? Oh, wait, I think we already talked about it. It could be 650. That looks like that could be the spot for QNTM where it finds resistance. That was a high from a couple days ago, Monday, and is also a low from the beginning of the year, January 2nd. That was the low, 650. So that could be the resistance. All right, and it looks like while I was talking, CYCN said I ain't finished yet, and it's pushing higher, looking to take out that, and it just did. Perfect.
Wiss is probably standing there with his arms crossed, smiling.
Perfect.
That's how I picture it, Wiss.
Perfect. I think it just hit the spot we were looking at a little bit there, 690. Yep. Can it push higher?
Matt saying 656 is no man's land. 657.50 is more likely. Well, I'll tell you what, so far, that's absolutely proved to be true. We went right to 656, kind of stopped and pulled here. So we'll see if we can get above 657.50 and maybe hold it there. Back down into a mid 655 handle. Lion also talking about Google. Is that having some more follow through today, I would guess? Oh, CYCN, more pop.
Halting. It's halting.
Going to halt at 735. At this point now, register ring for the call there, CYCN. All of you folks that were trading this here today, giddy up.
Oh, yeah.
Wiss, great call, man. Great call, Wiss.
Yeah, great call, Wiss. And I think Big Hurt was trading this thing. Great job. Great job, everybody trading this.
Yep.
Already a great morning. Yep.
I was just again, Wiss, very, very clear. This thing will go higher. It is now a point higher. Way to go.
QNTM also still slowly grinding higher, 585 now. Light, same thing. We just actually had a pop through the pre-market resistance. That took us up to 757 and 53 cents. BCG, Bana Capital, is not having a good morning, still struggling with a VWAP recapture, but getting support from the 200 EMA.
APLD, Applied Digital, more follow through there. Here's Ren X that you said pulled. That pulled and bounced.
Yep, pulled down to the pre-market highs, got support there, trying to push higher, got some resistance at 3 with a seller in the way.
Okay. Brent, good stuff there on CYCN. You're out there with the gains. That's wonderful.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely wonderful from the group here.
AOI and CIEN is moving with light. Thank you, Kathy. She's been on top of that.
AEOI, Light, CIEN, all of those have been moving together. Micron calls. So I know we were asking recently about where's the bottom there in Micron. Looks like so far so good. 315, 310. Jaywalker, hey man, register ring for you if you're done for the day with gains. There you go. Good stuff. Big B saying that the XOM puts paid. Oil, again, we talked about that earlier, down 1.8% here, doing its best to hold on to the support 1 pivot for the day. But this down another 3%. Sorry, QNTM?
Yep, knocking on the door of 6.
Got it.
Renex looking to take out the session highs of 313.
Yeah, there was that pullback, by the way. There was no gap there or anything. It just looked like the top of the pre-market candle was basically where it settled there. So no clear entry signal on that, but that's working so far. QNTM still at the highs.
Oh, no, I don't think I did, Jay. I got a moment. Let me... DA space. I want to say that I thought I've looked at this one before, though. I don't know about this one right at the moment. It looks like this could come back up, but I get the sense that the 50-day SMA is going to be a tough spot for it, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. And we also have that Artemis launch today too.
Yep. What time is that at? I meant to ask you earlier.
Let me look.
ELAB, by the way, this went to its VWAP and found resistance there. I think this probably rolls lower here today.
It's going to be this evening, 6:24 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to be watching that. It's on C-SPAN, televised on C-SPAN.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be on a lot of different, YouTube channels and whatnot. But I think that is supposed to be C-SPAN. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Excited for that. Praying for those astronauts. No question about it. Tesla here. This got mentioned earlier. Tesla was higher in the pre-market, but actually looks like it might try and go green to red today. See if the market does the same thing.
Renex, that popped up to 344 and then came back in, but it's still not finished yet. I just want to keep reiterating, be careful with this. The company does need cash. Make sure you're placing your stops appropriately.
And with that market pop out of the open and then the pullback here to the VWAP, by the way, that call on 657.50, that was pretty good. We actually never quite got there. So that's still going to be in play here today. But that 656 no man's land area that you talked about, boy, I couldn't hold that at all. Back down to VWAP. We'll see if the VWAP holds here. I've got a positive tick by only 200, so pretty much break even, and I have advanced to decline, has sunk since the open, still holding positive at just about 800 advancers to decliners.
Do we have a whole lot of time left on CYCN? I think we should be getting an unhalt with that soon.
Let me find that for you. CYCN, I'll actually leave it on here so we can see the opening print as well. This was halted at 9:41.09. So we are looking at, 6 seconds
Matter of
until
seconds.
we open.
Yep. Perfect. All
Good
right.
call on that, 13.
My internal clock that sometimes doesn't.
I know, sometimes it's right on.
All right.
Open and higher, 796, the high print. It's pulling now. It's actually volatile. It's all over the place.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a spread going here too. Maybe it comes back down to VWAP. I don't know. Jay, AMSC, that had a nice move up to 35 today.
And I like this here from Lion. This is regarding Boeing, which we talked about earlier here. Lion given a trade plan. I like these sometimes the most here. If Boeing closes above 204, and it's at 204.68 right now, then a breakout is confirmed, and we should be heading to 250. So, okay, so we talked earlier about kind of the higher lows here. It actually looks like it's trying to fill this gap up to about 206. So I would actually say we would want to close this gap down. No, we close above 206. You're calling for maybe 250. That would actually be a great swing trade if that materializes.
For me, I think I want to see 210 recaptured. The reason for that is that would also be a recapture of the 20-day SMA. But if you look at that 210 level and you look to the left, this has been a pretty prominent support and resistance area.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially when we had that breakdown in October last year, that we didn't, we were testing that level as resistance before we broke back through it. So I'm looking at 210 as a big level that needs to get back up. That might not be the level that we need to get, but that's the level I want to see recaptured. That would give me confidence that we're going higher.
Okay. Nonetheless, though, good stuff there on Boeing. Lion, keep us posted on that one. You think you're already long it, though? I'm not sure. Real quicker, Kendall saying, anyone using Schwab, is your position data stuff messed up? So I have a Schwab brokerage account, but I'm using Thinkorswim. It does not appear that anything is broken. I'm getting quotes here on everything, and that is considering the little April Fool's snafu that we had. Were you on for the start of the show, 13? Did you catch that at all?
What?
So before the show started, the producer in the chat informed the chat that there would be no stream today. Of course, that was an April Fool's joke. But then right before the stream started, my internet just lost it. I had to reset my internet. And when we started the show, I wasn't there. And then I came back on and I had an opener for April Fool's and everything. And it was just completely unplanned. But so even with some of those snafus there, my Thinkorswim appears to be working fine.
Your computer wanted to get in on that. April Fool's, sign me up.
Oh, here we go, though. Ray saying, I'm on chat with Tex right now. Cost and share not updating.
And this is for which one?
This is for Schwab. So I'm looking at my sheet here, and my costs are updating. They look to be right on. That might be an intermittent issue. Let me know what the text, Ray, really quickly, if it's not too much trouble, let me know what the texts say. We'll share that with the group.
BIAF is climbing while a lot of these other names are kind of falling. CYCN is coming back towards the VWAP. BCG, this looks like we're going much lower underneath the 200 EMA. TH, might have a date with the 65 EMA. This is not looking great either. Renex kind of struggling at the moment, but not selling off yet. And then ELAB looks like this wants to try and push higher, but it's still having trouble with this 745 area.
Reggie's grabbing Amazon on a dip. Where's Izzy? Izzy's normally grabbing Amazon on a dip. Amazon holding 208. So really quickly here with ELAB before I go over to Amazon. For me, this is all about the VWAP. If this cannot break the VWAP, it probably resolves lower. That level's 738. That's what I'd be looking at there. Here's Amazon real quick. And looking at the intraday chart here, we basically did have a pull down to the pre-market lows. Amazon has held it. So I guess, Reggie, you took the Amazon dip here. I guess let me know what your stop is on this. Izzy, if you're out there, are you buying the Amazon dip for Amazon scalp here today? And Robot to Trade bringing up Dave & Buster's ticker play. That's up 13.3%. Did that have earnings yesterday? Indeed, it did.
That's funny because we were just, Judge and I had brought it up when you guys were talking about Brunswick and bowling, and you guys were asking, is there any like bowling areas? Is that even a thing anymore? And I put out Dave & Buster's, and then Judge said play. I didn't even know it had earnings. I wasn't following it, but I do recognize that this is one of the names that had some pretty high short interest. Let me see where that's at now, because that could be a factor in why we're seeing this movement here. In addition to the earnings results, 72% of the float shorted, with 8 days to cover. That might be a candidate for a short squeeze.
Okay.
That's a massive amount of short interest.
You have the SPY popping and trying to recapture its VWAP. I don't know if it has the strength. I have not been given a signal to buy on the the 0 DTE call indicator. But it is trying to trade back up and take the VWAP there at about 654.5-ish.
Looks like Play's trying to go for $13. BIAF still climbing higher, not above the pre-market highs of 480, but getting up there. Looks like
CRML, this is that critical metals. This is moving here.
Yeah, CRML, probably USAR as well. We were talking about how these were setting up to start moving. They had some pretty good looking charts, like they were coming down to a bit of a bottom. And I don't think the minerals trade as often just yet, especially with this upcoming Trump-Xi meeting and the 1-year trade truce still in effect. What happens when that truce is over? I think we see these mineral plays come back again.
Boeing is your leader in the Dow today. Caterpillar second. That's what's keeping the Dow up here.
Industrials. You consider not just for infrastructure and data centers, but for the electrical grid and space. We could see some really big movement into space here with these Artemis launches and the Starship test flight that's supposed to be coming up some point soon here, hopefully in the next few weeks. Looks like Light's about to break the session high of 760.50 cents, coming right up to that. And Reginald, what's 210? I must have missed something. Amazon? Oh, okay. Good morning, Chicago Realtor.
HPQ for a long term?
Okay, so that's the Hewlett-Packard consumer side, I believe.
Yeah, that is.
HPE would be the enterprise side. I'm a little, this chart doesn't look too bad, but I'm a little cautious on consumer computing because of the price of like RAM and chips. Might be pricing too many people out of getting a computer right now. I don't know if that's
causing them to wait, right? Like just causing them to maybe push that upgrade plan down the road.
Yeah. So with these chip names starting to come back in, and if we see the price of RAM and NAND and CPUs and GPUs start to come back down, I could see HPQ starting to rise off of that, and it looks like it's trying to turn around and kind of bottom, or it has been bottoming. So to me, I would say that if we can get back above and hold the 50-day SMA, let's look for a breakthrough 20. that $20 seems to be the big spot we need to get through. No closes above that since we lost the level back at the beginning of the year, and we've attempted to go above it, but no closes above it. So I would think that recapturing and closing above 20 would be a really strong sign that this is coming back up.
And really quickly, here's the PC Parts Picker. I think you gave this website out before, 13. This is PC Parts Picker memory price trends. And you can see that the price is flattening out. In some cases, maybe it's dipping a little bit, but this gives you a real good idea of where these prices are actually at. They are still elevated. So as far as what you're saying here about, maybe people kind of dialing this back or pushing the upgrade down the road, that absolutely looks like that could be the case here.
And to that point, we might also get, PC builders, like I think Marty is one such builder where he, people just buy components, build their own rigs. I do it.
Me too.
Newegg might be an interesting play on that in that sense too. This has been struggling with its 50-day SMA, and this is a website that sells a lot of computer components and peripherals and monitors and all that different stuff. So if there's people that are waiting to build their next rig because they are not really wanting to spend these kind of prices on RAM and GPUs and all that, this could be another stock that could really get going if we see those prices of those components start to come back in.
Okay. That's a good one. Good one to watch there. The noob uses Newegg too. I think everyone that's built a computer at some point has probably used Newegg. Yeah, I mean,
it's either Newegg, Amazon, or sometimes like this. I think it's like is it CDA or there's some other website that I sometimes use, but usually
CDW.
CDW, that's what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's it's usually going to be Newegg or Amazon though.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. Sometimes I actually use Micro Center as well.
Perfect. Good mention. JD Labs mentioning Corsair. That's one of the peripherals, and they also, I think they also, slap their label on some RAM as well, and other components. They have GPU and CPU cores as well. So there's a lot of Corsair would be a great one. That's a great mention actually.
Yeah, and the line here outlining that some of those defense names and the munitions drawdown. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Should be bullish for some of the critical minerals. You also mentioned copper and other rare earths in there. That makes sense too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, copper is just going to be massive if we're going to continue with electrification and EV tolls, drones. Copper is going to be in every single thing. Yeah,
sure is. And JD here saying if you live near a Micro Center, it's got great walk-in deals. I can confirm that JD is correct on that. I've actually walked into Micro Center a few times and found deals that I didn't necessarily think that I was going to get. Spies trying. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, for me, I was just going to say, gone are the days of walking into a Fry's or a Micro Center. It's just so much easier just to order it online.
But that's been my experience too. Just
loved going to Fry's with my dad. It was like going to a toy store for us.
Yeah, it's like an adult toy store almost. Yeah. I hesitate to even use that because I don't want it to be misconstrued, but it definitely feels that way. So here's SPY still struggling with that VWAP. It actually looked like it was going to try and bounce and trade higher here, but just didn't have the strength to hold it.
CYCN, we get down to the VWAP, got some support. We're trying to push higher into the 7s, but now we're pulling. This was, I was in this like about 30 seconds ago. I guess that was a good move. Play, great movement here with this one, and this had massive short interest. So I don't know where this is going to squeeze to. Maybe $15. The 65 EMA on the daily chart could be possible. It's also $15. Looks like a bit of a shelf area before we lost it. I would say $15 is possible in play. Not guaranteed, but possible.
Fries in the Bay Area every Saturday was a ritual.
Oh, man.
Sounds like a ritual I could have gotten on board for, honestly.
All right. Looks like we're still getting some weakness in some of those names. We had a decent move in CYCN. This didn't go very high.
Yeah, it didn't set a new high there.
Light still, this might be pushing back up to that 760 and 50 cent area.
More call buys on Light. These are the 790s for April. These are 790s for tomorrow. Damn. That looks like a really short-term trade there.
Oh, they think it's going to go up $30 in the next throughout this session.
Yeah, or at least the price is going to appreciate enough to make those calls worthwhile. That just looks like a short-term trade there on light.
Looking at some of the movers from earlier this week, Mask up 10% today. That's probably one of the better ones. We looked at this last week, but KOD, Kodiak Sciences, that's up 12%. This was also up yesterday too.
That's KOD, right?
Yeah. So this one continues to climb, which is pretty interesting. Looks like it came down to where Ryan, I think this might be a floating island that's about to break out.
On KOD, yeah, look at that. So it did. It had the impulse pop, came right back into the bottom end of the range, held and bounced a little bit. Now we're back up to the highs. I'm not in at 13, but that is a good mention.
Yeah, and
mention KOD.
If this resolves, do you think we see higher than 48?
Yeah,
that's kind of what this is setting up for, right? Is for a move higher.
Yeah, I think that you could have a measured move higher here towards 50. I actually wouldn't even be surprised if that round number kind of came into play. So yeah, you're probably right with that. There's
a trade idea for you folks. KOD. This looks like it has a floating island. That's a bullish pattern formation here. If we continue higher, 45.60 is the high that we put in last week. That would be your top resistance area. So maybe there's a trade here, but it looks like this wants to go higher.
Good mention, 13.
Thank you.
And CYCN might not be done. Looking like that might try and push through. I think 745 is the spot it looks like on my chart.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to still push higher. Maybe we see 8. There was also a mention of play. This is still climbing, but it has ran into some resistance at 1325. The question was good revenue. I think there's two things happening here with this one. One, they had their earnings, which they were misses. But I think because the short interest is so high that we're just seeing a squeeze. I don't think that I really can't say that this is going off of good earnings because it doesn't look like it's good. But you did have some insider buying. And I think that is adding a little bit of fuel to the fire. But the high short interest, I think, was the real case here. And the earnings were more of an excuse.
CYCN going for that 796 high. I don't think 8 is out of the question here.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you got?
No, I'm just watching CYCN.
Oh, CYCN. I was like, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss?
You're not missing anything. We're looking at the same thing. It is having a bit of a time with that 8 level, though.
And the SPY is also trying to go higher. Chris, I saw your comments here. Seems to be a lot of volume here at the open compared to the last 2 trading days, yet the market seems unresolved. Seems like that uncertainty still there. Obviously, we have a looming catalyst with some Trump speech tonight. We'll see what that does here. Chris goes on to say, I'd be surprised to see if the market closed green here today. We are holding green by 0.71%. And it certainly looks like the SPY is trying to push higher here, but we'll see if we've got the strength to do that. Futures moving up towards the top of the VWAP standard deviation. What do you got? What?
QNTM, big drop after losing the VWAP, couldn't recapture it, came back down to the 65 EMA. ELAB also rejected at the 65 EMA. BIAF, this one went down to the 65 EMA, has recovered, and is testing some of the pre-market highs. RENX, sideways.
Is that TA? I have to remember what you're even talking about when you do that.
It's just so dumb. It's just a fun joke at this point. CYCN broke through 8, and we are headed higher now. 843 is the current high. So
CYCN, another break above. Tell you what, we're still banging off that call from earlier about this going higher. Now we've had 2 legs since that call so really good stuff there.
Yeah, maybe we see this go to if it can hold 8, which it's struggling with at the moment, but if we can hold 8, maybe we see 950.
Yeah, I totally agree with comp here too. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, comp, but I wouldn't chase this either. I would be very careful with this. The call earlier on this curling back up and setting new highs was the entry. Chasing here does not seem like a good idea. I would totally agree.
Yeah, I don't think this is where you want to be buying. This is where we want to be selling.
Good stuff, though.
Oh yeah, it's been. I mean, CYCN pretty much was it for me today. That was the one that made the money.
Yep, that was it. You were in the right one. Tesla, by the way, looks like it held 374, at least thus far. And that market, or the SPY, excuse me, I was talking about that, trying to trade higher here. Looks like it ran into some resistance again there, 655. Still think that 657.50 might be in play. I don't know if we're going to get it, though. COD over 43, so do we end up breaking higher there? That's KOD, Kodiak.
That's awesome. That's awesome that this is just continuing to climb. Look at this thing go.
Yeah, that's just straight up out of the gate here today, too.
Yeah, I would say that if we could continue with this, we're potentially looking at 45. Just look at, if you back out a little bit, just a little bit, you should be able to see last week's high of 45.60 during the regular
let me
session.
reset this. Yep.
I think that's a total possibility of getting up there. All right, just a fantastic morning.
Yeah,
and a fantastic week.
Wiss saying CYCN over 950 can get interesting. Wiss, isn't it already pretty interesting? Feels like it anyway.
I can see what he's saying, because we've seen some of these movers where they've been, great like this, and then once we get, through lunch, then it just absolutely goes insane. I don't know. We'll see that with CYCN, but this is something that has happened before, so I'm not taking that off the table.
Yeah, never a bad idea either on some of these movers. Maybe write down the ones that had some of these interesting moves early and then revisit them when we get closer to the afternoon.
No, forever. It's not Kodiak. Although,
he said he thought. Yeah.
It's okay. Although Kodak is a very, very, very interesting battery play. I'll tell you why. Let me just pull this up here.
I'm gonna actually refresh my platform here real quick. Looks like I'm lagging a little bit.
1 second. They have they've been working with a company. I just can't remember the name, but they have developed a process for making battery. What is it? Anodes. Hold on a second. Okay, so it's ATO Systems and Kodak. They have been working on a platform called Rycor. It's an electrode platform that is PFAS3 free, and it can work with pretty much any battery technology, and it cuts down costs of manufacturing by 98%. So this could be read more into this. The news isn't that old. But if you go back, I think March 23rd has a lot of good information on it with those PRs. But if you're looking for an interesting play in the battery theme, Kodak could be a very interesting come from behind with their chemistry.
Yeah, and just to be clear here, guys, we're talking about ticker KOD, Kodiak, not Kodak, ticker KODK.
No,
I know there was a little confusion there.
No, I was just talking about Kodak.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm not talking about.
It's my fault then. Sorry, 13. I'm having trouble following along. I've had trouble all morning here.
So Kodak,
not totally clear to me. Sorry, guys.
Eastman Kodak is the one I was just talking about. That's an interesting battery play. KOD is the one that was moving today that we're trading. Different companies, but Kodak, Eastman Kodak, interesting battery play. They're working with ATO Systems to develop the Rycor battery electrode platform. Do some research on that. I think it's super interesting.
Okay. Wasn't trying to fight you there, 13. I'm sorry,
it's okay.
man.
No, it's okay. Look, we don't make these tickers, nor do we make these company names.
I know, but it's
Kodiak and Kodak. It's all about the eye. So not a big deal. There's so many different companies out here with all similar names. We're gonna run into these problems.
All right, market is again trying to push higher here. See if this has got the strength to go. It is definitely looks like it's trying.
See, Lion, you're not too far off from where I'm looking at here, and I see that RenX is also pushing higher as well. I was saying that these up moves that we're getting probably might be a good move to either trim or sell into, because like I was saying earlier, this whole situation isn't over yet. And we could get hit with some news that it completely reverses the market, about, maybe talks rejections or something, or maybe there's another strike that happens.
Or like he was saying, boots on the ground, I think would send the market down for sure. Kathy, really quick to answer your question. Yes, it looks like ELAB halted here. Time on that, 10:08:42, by the way. I think Lions, Lion here saying that, look, if you've got gains in some of these, perhaps protecting them is the way to go. 13, that is with what we have been saying for months in terms of raising cash here and trying to build up, dry powder for perhaps a bigger move down.
KOD, Kodiak, now in the 44
Here we go
handle.
again.
Now in it wasn't the 44 handle just a moment ago, but it got up to 44.19. So still on its way up to the 45 area we were looking at. QNTM, this thing has gone, has given everything completely back. This is all done. Play might be setting up for the next move. I don't know. Volume seems to have dropped off a little bit, but just keep in mind this has some massive short interest. We could see some squeezing here again. We did get a higher move in LITE up to 764.21. BIAF. Gosh, I hope we don't have a double top here, because if we do, this is likely coming back into the 65 EMA. CYCN, that's kind of going sideways at the moment.
Yeah, 848 still your high there, CYCN.
And then RENX back up to that 344 high, and looks like that's going to be the spot where it's going to get rejected, because if we pull back from here and we come back down to the VWAP, I would think maybe there's going to be one more attempt to try and push up through that 345 area. But if we lose VWAP, then this is going to come back down to the 65, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see how Micron's doing here.
Lots of stuff.
Micron's still trading higher.
Lots of stuff slowing down here. New slightly higher high, RENX. QNTM is a joke company. I don't know enough about it, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, Matt, that's what it looks like. The juice just not there. I mean, it's early and we've seen it change, but so far here, not yet. It actually looks like it's kind of trying to decide which way it's going to go, right? It's like it's flashing like it wants to push higher, but that juice just isn't there. Long live Creamer, the finance.
Are we waiting for this to go starburst and have the juice be loose?
The juice is loose. I remember those commercials. Man, Starburst, those things I remember. I don't eat candy anymore. That stuff just wrecks my teeth. But man, Starburst, those, especially the pink and the red ones, those were so good. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wanted the yellow. Do you ever open up a pack of Starburst and share it with your friends, and everybody's like trying to pick out the orange and the red and the pink before all that's left is the yellow that nobody wanted?
Yeah, then it gets eaten eventually anyway.
Yeah, because it's candy.
This is candy.
Artemis on Artemis Flow, Lunar is tech. Okay, so Lunar is going to be one of the companies that's involved with this whole Artemis moon missions.
Which one? Which company are we looking at?
Lunar. They're going to be one of the one that has the landers that tip over. They're
right.
They're going to be involved with this as well. So am I. I actually am more of a Skittles guy. I love Skittles. Those are probably the ones I would go with. When I go to a movie theater and wanted to buy candy, that would be the one.
You're not a Milk Duds guy, huh? Not trying to pull your fillings out, huh?
Just not really. Never was really into duds, Milk Duds.
Yeah, I get you. I'm with you on that. Lions FCX is copper play. Yeah, it's slow here, but it's higher still.
That's probably one of the best copper plays we can, have. When we were talking about this, like last year, when, remember we had that Trump speech. I think it was a State of the Union or something, and then he started mentioning copper and the critical minerals, and that's when this whole trade started.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, that was, and we were talking about FCX just before that too, so it was perfect. But that's the best. I think that's the best copper play. Can we look at Kodak and Kodapak? He wants to throw. He's bringing all the fuel.
I know. Marty's got the jokes going here today.
It's okay. I love it.
CYCN, that pulled back off its high again.
Yep,
Market pulled back to the VWAP, but would not break down. So it's still in its indecision mode, it feels like.
It looks like ELAB unhalted and printed slightly higher in the regular session. Might be trying to push up higher. A lot of consolidation and supply to get through above it from the pre-market in the after hours. Looks like about 785 might be a bit of a tough spot. We'll see what happens with this. BIAF, this thing just dropped right back down again. So we did get a bit of a double top here in this one. I think but BIAF might be finished for today. I say that as it continues to lose the 65 EMA and drop lower.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That broke it quick. You're right. You right, 13.
Yeah, it's kind of feeling like we're at the point of the day where maybe we just need to be happy with what we got and wait for some volume to come back, because it feels like volume is really starting to drop off a little bit here.
Yeah, and I tell you, the one of those, the CYCN mover, not bad. Not bad at all. RenX gave a pretty decent move as well. So broader market not really giving a whole lot of moves here. MU is still killing it. That's a good mention too, Big B's. I know we were kind of stalking and waiting for where the entry was on this, but looks like this is let me ask you, Big B's, where do you think this tops out on this bounce? You've been pretty good about flagging that 370, 380. Where do you think MU tops out on this bounce attempt?
I mean, we still have the rest of today to get through. I mean, we could see this come right back down beneath 360. I mean, it's moving through a resistance area right now. Whether or not this holds, that's what we need the rest of the day for. It goes back to the big number 400. Okay, so right to the basically the 20 and 50 day SLAs.
Okay, that's a pretty good move from where we're at. That'd be something, Big B's. Do you have calls on that, Big B's? I can't remember. I tell you what, I try to remember everyone's positions. It's not easy. Not easy. How's Marvell doing? Marvell's still at the highs. I tell you what, Tech's still doing pretty good here. NQ looks all right. 24,172. Market still won't pick a direction. It won't break down, but it just doesn't have the juice to go higher.
We did get some news that Trump was in the Supreme Court. I think I'm trying to think of what they're ruling on today. I know it's something that affects what Trump was trying to do. I just can't remember what
Does
it was.
affect the market though? I mean,
it might.
I guess it might. Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. That was yesterday. Sorry, I just birthright citizenship. That's what they're ruling on today. Yeah, thank you, guys. Just as you started posting these, it was I saw it. So yes, you guys are right. It's birthright citizenship. Thank you.
Looking around here, VIX holding 2466, Bitcoin 68,500. That's pretty much been sideways today. It's been one of our good risk on, risk off indicators. Not really getting a whole lot from it. Sean says feeling good on the mid-June 7 Ondas calls. I did add to the calls the other day. Those are the September 18s, though.
I don't know that we're necessarily, done with all this great movement for the day.
Did I drop? Nope, we're still good. We're still good.
For now,
just making sure. Boeing continuing. So what do we say? 210 was the level that you wanted. I think I said 206. Lion said 204. We're above almost all of them, but 210 here. 207 on Boeing.
Yeah, 210.
Intel, awesome so far. Is that still on the highs?
Looks like BIF is
Intel. Another leg up. That is indeed still at the highs. 13, you good, man?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
No, I can't. Can anyone else hear me? There we go. I just
asked if you could hear me, and you said, nope. No, I can't. All right, what's going on here? I don't know.
There's something's wrong with your audio. It's cutting in and out.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds like a loose connection, to be honest. All right, well, April Fool's no stranger to tech problems here for both of us today, it looks like.
Well, how about now?
How did you answer no, I can't? Loud and clear. Okay, so you guys hear him. Producer, are you there? Maybe if this is a me thing? No, I see him as muted. 13 is good on our end.
How about now?
Yeah, now I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. All right, well, I guess it wasn't me then. Might have been your audio.
I can hear you perfectly now.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, courtesy of Verizon, LOL.
And then that guy went to Sprint.
Yeah, that's right. The Verizon guy did go to Sprint. I forgot about that.
I may watch TV sometimes. So CYCN now under 7, testing the VWAP here, looking a little weak. Might lose VWAP. And if that happens, then support areas are going to be, looks like 650, 735. I'm sorry, 535. And then even lower than that, maybe 440, 450. If we even get down to those levels, but just the way the momentum looks, it looks like we could hit those levels, or at least one or two of them. Light, on the other hand, still more session highs.
Tell you what, the stocks that are hot are still hot. They keep going. Market's still just kind of indecisive. Definitely not the day to play on zero DTE options. I know we had that one initial pop and the one initial drop, but after that, man, there was nothing going on.
Supric, I don't think that's I think it's a good thing to be concerned and cautious. So, if you're not feeling like this is, the bottom here, I certainly don't think that we're necessarily going to be we're at the bottom just yet. So, if you're feeling scared to go long with all the war news, don't go long.
Yeah, just keep waiting it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, and if you feel like you're missing out on opportunities, this could just be a bounce and not something you'd want to get yourself caught in. Now, maybe it'll be better once the market recovers, but you'll be probably holding the bag for a little bit. It's, I would just, don't get FOMO is what I think I want to say. Just don't get FOMO. There's always going to be opportunities.
All right, market trading higher here now. Did we get a news on that? I don't think so.
This chart looks awesome.
Fly?
Yeah. I like the way this looks.
Lion says, put this one on your watch list. If we take 32, we go way higher. 32, maybe 34 even. Got a gap fill up towards 35.
We already filled it. We filled it back in January, and then we came right back down. So I think if we revisit that, we're going through it. And that would mean, we probably could end up seeing 40 if we break through that level, maybe as high as 44. I don't know if I want to start, making a conviction move or conviction statement that, oh yeah, this thing's going to go over 50 and we're going to see 60 and all that. Might happen eventually, but for now, with how the RSI is getting a little elevated, we're approaching some of those highs from January. I think we're going to get up there, maybe slightly back off before we break through it. But this double rounding bottom, I like the way that looks.
Yeah, and actually the right, I hate to say this, but the right cheek looks slightly higher than the left. So maybe that's kind of giving you a angle to the upside there. Lion, are you doing this with options? Actually, I guess I should check to see if it even has options. Are you doing this with options or stock? They do have options, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's where Lion was at on this.
Izzy asking 13 Netflix week today news. Don't know if we had any news today, but that is a big drop that we experienced I say big, it was only really $1, but it's still on a chart here. It doesn't look very good. It looks to me like this is heading lower. The only thing I see from today is that the halftime final report trade, Stephanie Link said that, I'm sorry, Joshua Brown, co-founder and CEO of Ritz Holt Wealth Management, says he likes Netflix. That's the only news I see.
Friend of Benzinga, by the way, Josh Brown.
Okay. My whole thing with Netflix is they still have a content problem. That's my whole thing. All right. Looks like back to hardware. IGV red. I mean, probably we're going to see back and forth, and that should give a lift to some of those cloud hyperscalers. So probably we'll see Amazon and Microsoft come back up as well.
Jane saying, off to print some house trim. Are you 3D printing stuff for your house? That's pretty cool. I have a good one though, Jane. Thanks for all the support.
Awesome.
That's cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because cool. How well does that? Paint some more house trim. I thought you said print.
Paint. Yeah, I did too. I read it as print.
Okay, so yeah, I mean
that makes a lot more sense.
You know what? Have fun. I hate painting. I hate painting exterior. I hate painting walls. I hate painting trim.
What is it? Is it just the annoyance of drips, paint drips that you have to then clean up?
If I make one little mistake and it looks off, I'm just like, oh God, I have to let this dry now. I mean, it's just all kinds of. I'm not a good painter, so I hate it.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Totally get.
I call the finishers in for that stuff.
Do it enough times and you'll hate it too, Brian. That resonates.
I'll happily put up drywall. I'll happily do electrical, but just don't ask me to paint.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. When I buy a fixer-upper near 13 and I need his help, I won't ask him for painting help. He'll be up there hanging drywall with me.
No, more like Van No, JJ. I don't. I'm not much of a painter. Could drop pretty good though. Do enough times and you'll hate it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to markets. Enough about this painting. So we did get a slightly higher print in light. I mean, I there's nothing I'm interested in taking right now. I just don't want to touch anything at this stage.
Either. I don't have any good entry signals here. I will say group called a bunch of them though.
Oh yeah.
Between RenX and CYNC, definitely had some targets here today. See what we get with the rest of the day here.
Maybe Kodiak. We are that's KOD. This ran up, hit 44.19. We did back off for 15 minutes, and now it looks like we're getting support and trying to turn around here. So maybe this one has a move coming in it, but it's going to be about the volume of which we're losing a lot around the market. So I don't know how great this one's going to be, but it's got a nice setup. All right. Yeah, I think I'm ready to check out for the morning and get ready for the afternoon. Yeah,
I hear you on that. Now, did we ever confirm that time for Artemis launch? You said it was tonight, right? Artemis?
It specifically said 6:24 p.m. Eastern, but we can, as long as you're on by 6, you should be fine. And NASA's YouTube channel will have it live streamed.
Okay. Yeah, I see 6:24 p.m. EDT GMT.
Jane, I'll screw it into the studs, but if you want me to tape mud and sand and all that, you're gonna lose me. I'll happily hang it, but just don't ask me to do any finishing. I do not like to finish. You'll have to tell us more about that, Buffalo, at some point. Talk about bad painters. What did they paint? They paint The Escape Plan.
Is that the movie with that's a movie with Stallone and Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, it kind of was, I don't think it was a great movie, and it was a little disappointing to have them be the movie that they were in together.
Yeah.
Aside from Expendables. So, but we get what we can, right? Kodiak still climbing up towards the session highs. I think it's probably about time I just wrap this up.
Yeah, I was going to say, 13, what do you have for us on the wrap here today? We'll get over to the story trading group next here.
Oh, they're probably going to have a lot better trade ideas than I've got at the moment, because right now with the market losing volume, I'm just kind of waiting, sitting on my hands, and going to do some research. But great trading this morning. Hopefully we'll come back tomorrow. We'll find some more movers, because there's definitely should be some. We'll trade those as well. So until then, folks, enjoy the launch. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.
All right. Take care. Lynn's actually going to the launch. Lynn, have a good time. Take pictures. I tell you what, you take any pictures, I'd be interested in that. That'd be really cool. 13, take care of yourself. Good stuff here today. We'll close the week out strong tomorrow. Remember, no market on Friday. So tomorrow is our synthetic Friday. We'll see how that goes. Now, 13's departure leaves room for the one and only story trading group, the one and only. Let's bring on Ben and Rhett and see how they're doing. Ben, how you doing, man? Rhett, same deal.
Cool. I like it, Rhett. You're standing up. You got a stand-up desk?
Yeah, I'm standing up right now. My butt's hurting too much from sitting down all day.
I got a sit-stand desk too, Rhett. They're awesome. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ryan, I'm actually not too far away from the launch. I'll be watching it as well, so I'm excited. It's only 30 minutes away, so
nice. Are you going to be able to see it in person?
I watch every launch right here from my house. Like, if you see out the window right here,
front row seat for Rhett. That's pretty sweet. Look, if same call to action for you. If you take any pictures, I'm a huge nerd about this stuff. I'd love to see them. Just shoot me an email.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll send it to you. Next time you got to come down and stay with us.
Yeah, dude, I would love to do that. I'll keep you posted the next time I'm down there in Florida. Now, or is it Texas, Florida?
Florida, yeah, Florida.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Now that aside, what do you guys got market wise?
A lot of stuff, man. Hit our targets already. Big targets. Lunar hit our $20 target for the day. Redwire hit our $9.15 target for the day. AOI hit our $94 target for the day. Air not quite getting to the 40 to 41 target for the day yet. NNOX hit the target for the day at the 20 DMA at 247. So lots of really incredible calls. But personally, I'm not benefiting too much from it, because in my short-term account, my long-term account, Ryan, I actually bought a bunch of these things last night because I anticipated we'd have a day 2 move. So I bought AOI last night
nice.
After hours. I bought Micron. I bought it back early this morning at 347 in my long-term account. UMAC I bought last night. There's a bunch of things I bought last night, but in my short-term account, Ryan, I'm having such a very hard time navigating, everything with Trump and the war that, like when I see a positive catalyst on a stock, I hesitate, and I see a great technical setup, I still hesitate because I'm like, I don't know.
Ben, it's not just you, man. That's happening. That's happening to me and others as well. So
or I'll just take small scalps, like Lunar. Like, I took it from like 19 to 1950, even though my target's 20. I tell everyone 20, but I'm afraid of my own shadow, and I take a small win. So it's a tough. In short-term trading accounts, it's real tough where I don't want to lose money.
Yeah, totally with you on that. Plus, we got the overhang of Trump announcing whatever he's going to announce here tonight. So, all right, guys, good luck. Hopefully, you find some more green sprouts here today.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. So pretty uncanny how all these targets hit to the penny, and some of them breaking, like the $20 Lunar. So, I mean, what's there left? It's difficult, man. It's like AOI, I think, can hit 99. Again, I bought it in the long term. In the short term, I really hesitate buying it up here at up 12% at 95, even though it's probably going to work, but let's look at the Qs for a second. All right. And the Qs look like early this morning, I put a green alert out, green signal that we could hit the 20 DMA 590 up there. I think the SPY probably already hit it. Hey, laptop, let me check where the SPY's at. Where's my SPY? SPY almost hitting the 200. So I was very constructive on a day 2 follow through move, because not only technicals oversold, but because Trump put out that event tonight at 9 p.m. and I thought the market's going to be real positive tonight into that event. But then when he put out the tweet this morning, it ruined my day, and I lost my conviction. He put out that tweet that Iran, the new president of Iran, is much more reasonable. He's asking for a ceasefire. But then he said, but we're not going to do a ceasefire now, unless the Strait of Hormuz is completely open. And in the meantime, we're going to bomb the shit out of them until we get the Strait of Hormuz open. So that really scared me out of my, green signal for today, because the catalyst for yesterday was I don't care about the Strait of Hormuz. Not up to us. The rest of the world can do it, and we're going to peace out in 2 to 3 weeks, right? That was the catalyst which triggered the oversold technical bounce back yesterday. So then he just went and contradicted him on that, the reason for the move. So it made me hesitant about taking trades today. And, I was planning on buying puts on the NASDAQ here at the end of the day today. I think you can have a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing with the announcement tonight. And who wants to be long into a 3-day weekend? But then when put that tweet out, I'm like, I don't know if we'll get the rally today. We are, but it made me doubt it. And I started getting some puts early. I was going to get them at like 3 o'clock or something. So I'm having a little bit of a tough time in the trade account here today. On the positive side, TH is working, even though it's too impressive. But I got in very early on TH on a big contract they won. Maybe I'll dig into the details later if we have time. But I'm going to pause there and head on over to Rhett first for your thoughts, Rhett.
Yeah, it's pretty much having to take it day by day right now with the market, headline after headline. It feels like it's never ending. Like I put out a funny tweet after this market with these headlines and everything. I think I'm going to be completely bald once all said and done. So
hey.
Yeah, I'm not far behind you, laptop, and I'm only 23, so almost there. But yeah, I mean, look, it's kind of hard navigating it right now, especially with everything how it is. I was not expecting these moves today to occur. I think we'll start to see a little bit of chop and maybe get a better sense of direction after the Address the Nation tonight at 9 p.m. Because it's not only that, it is also 2 other countries as well. So maybe they all are going to be talking and saying about the same thing. So we'll see what happens there and maybe get a better sense. But I mean, it
looks like we're getting a big market pull right now. And by the way, I have an app that tells you about missile attacks into Israel. I don't know if you can hear it. Listen to this. They're coming in like nonstop.
Yep, I just saw that. Yep.
Yeah, I was hearing. I was wondering what that was.
And I'm seeing them on social media because yesterday was the least number of missile and drone attacks coming out of Iran, since the war started. And I think there was only 1 missile coming into Israel yesterday. But just like in the last hour or so, there's been 4 separate ballistic missile attacks coming to Israel. Maybe more now. Maybe it's a 5th. I don't know. With all these new alerts coming through on my phone. So I don't know. Maybe that's why we're getting a little pop in oil and a little drop in the markets right now. But yeah, like for a short-term trading account, like it's so frustrating calling all of these targets and they're hitting, and I'm just like paralyzed. And it's really, really annoying. But had some nice pickups in the long-term account yesterday. Laptop, over to you.
Hey, so that's
Did we just lose them?
Yeah,
it's been extremely difficult to play individual stock.
No way.
Sees for me all the way. It's been the IWM and the Qs, and really the Q has been much better for me than the IWMs. I've had some really, really big hits on the Qs recently. And of course, the other side is space. That seems to be a big driver right now. We've got Lunar, ASTS, SATS. We've got the SpaceX IPO coming out, and that's been big. And then of course we have the Artemis 2 launch coming out. So a lot of space news. So I've been mostly positive and bullish on space news and kind of just playing. And I've gotten burned twice now on following the news for the indices. So I got faked out again today because of Trump's tweet. I thought that the Qs were going down. They went the other way. So I lost on that trade. And then I picked it up again when the Qs spiked up and went down. And so I made a little bit back on that. Really watching oil prices here. And if you watched it today, like USO, it's been all over the place. So going into a 3-day weekend, I'm not carrying anything past 12 noon tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Hey, one thing, I just got a message from a company that representative before
Whoa.
interviewed at CO.
Yeah.
GLND is going to ring the bell.
Really?
I guess at NASDAQ on Tuesday. They just sent me a
Wow.
message. So.
Look at that. Look
Oh,
what the hell's going on with the Qs right now. That Qs. That
I'm
looks,
looking at this. I'm not seeing anything at the
whoa,
moment,
that looks
but
amazing.
sure, definitely pulling the market up.
Hold on, I have some Micron common shares.
Wow, how much are those?
I should have
calls now?
I should have kept the calls that were alerted in our community. I
They're up 150%.
Oh my gosh, I sold it for like
Wow.
a 15% gain. I was afraid of my own shadow. But I subsequently got into some common shares.
You know, the one I really dropped the ball on today was ASTS. I was talking about it all morning, saying I was going to go hit the 20-day moving average. Did nothing about it.
I know. It's just this market makes it so hard to play individual stocks in a short-term account.
It really does.
Look at this volatility in oil. Something just happened.
I'm not seeing
Yeah.
any. At 10:30, no. There's
Yeah,
10:30
something.
news, but
Yeah,
this is
1040, 1041, 1040 down, 1041 up.
Hold on, let me check my OSINT accounts here on X. Multiple alerts sounded across Israel. Well, that's maybe it's a delayed reaction. You know what? Like I get this stuff on. By the way, you should download this app, or there's many of them.
Yeah, they're asking what the name of the app is, Ben.
Yeah, because I've gotten like you get these before they go out on X and before the markets move. The app I'm in is called. It's called It's TZOFAR. So TZOFAR. That'll give you like a 60-second to 2-minute advantage over market moves and stuff on X regarding new ballistic missile attacks towards Israel.
Okay.
I don't know. It would be cool if we can also, if there's other apps for other Mideast countries. I don't know what they'd be called, but it definitely gives you a little bit of an advantage here and there. Yeah, look at that. I just sold the Micron for a small gain there on this volatility. I don't know what's going on. So let's talk a little bit Air and TH. So Air, huge winner for us this year for me. Big wins, multiple 6-figure gains in the last 18 months since we opened our Discord on this. And actually, I previously made a 7-figure profit on Air way back here in 2021. But yeah, I have the number of this stock. I know how to play it. And let's go to the daily chart. I'll tell you the story behind this chart. Earnings report pop here. We played this, made a shit ton of money on that day, January 9th. And it was not about the earnings that just happened, but it was about the guidance that basically they gave really good guidance. They reinstituted guidance after suspending guidance for several quarters. And they said, we have pretty good visibility that we're going to get a bunch of AI orders this year. And they put some big guidance revenue numbers up for the year. But the AI orders didn't come in yet. So it moved initially on that. This was a gift. It pulled back, right, to where it started. I don't remember if I picked up here, but I was waiting on the news feed. You see this big gap? Well, I got it in pre-market, made a big amount of money on February 11th when they finally got that first big AI order. Then you have another gift that pulled back. It's crazy how these gaps fill after great news, right? You have another pullback, and then it ran on no news, right? It was the news, pullback, and then ran like crazy just in a secondary reaction to that big AI order they got. And now guess what? Over here, you pull back again, back to where it was before that AI order. I was like, by the way, the morning before the news came out, I was putting an order in. Yes, it was yesterday morning pre-market, and I picked up just like a couple hundred shares, partial fill. And then like 20 minutes later, they got the second big AI contract, with one big AI contract that went to 47. So this was a no-brainer yesterday morning. We picked it up, made big money on it yesterday. And the magnitude of that order suggests to me, especially because look what it did last time. Look at all these open green candles, 3-4 days in a row. All right. Theoretically, if this was worth it up to $47 with one AI contract, it should be worth at least $47 with 2 large AI contracts, right? So thinking this can have a second open green candle today So it was a top pick this morning. Indeed, it is an open green candle, but not as much as I wanted. It's kind of underperforming right now. I was looking for 40 to 41 as early as today. We'll see what happens with that. But this thing's headed over $50 this year for sure. For sure. By the end of the year, it might be in the 70s or something like that. So that's a story with air. Now, the story with, look at Lunar just still going all day. I mean, that was such a, I made this a top pick this morning, didn't I? I think I did, right? I think it was.
Lunar was $20 price target.
Yeah, but this is like the most obvious play on the Artemis launch today. And I guess I should have had more conviction or larger size or something, or got some calls and let it run. I just scalped some common shares. Like,
I don't know if their launch will be happening today, to be honest.
Weather issues?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up. I mean, I'm like 30, 40 miles away, but the wind is starting to pick up here, so that's a huge factor.
Freaking Redwire put out a press release that their technology is being used in the Artemis mission.
There you go.
Yeah, that was flying as well.
Yeah, and I only took a small scalp here. I got, like I chickened out here after just a little drop. It was mostly because of the Trump tweet. I'm like, I don't know about the market today. Anyway, I'm also going to point out this TH. This is very interesting. I'm in at big size right now. Let me check. I sold those call options at 250 laptop.
Hey, good time.
Yeah, 212 entry, 250 sale. They were so cheap. Honestly, I should have done more sight. In fact, they still might be good.
We've kind of gone flat here with TH. Really flat.
Yeah, but the fundamentals of this catalyst, give me conviction to buy the dips.
Yeah.
So let me open up the Discord and get the numbers. Just get this here. Okay, TH. Here we go. All right, let me show this to you here. It might pop in a second. It's right at VWAP. Oh my gosh. So TH. Okay, secures over 550 million multi-year contract with top 5 hyperscaler supporting a data center development. Okay, that's a nice headline, but it only gets juicy once you dig into the profitability story, because sometimes this stuff, AI data center build outs, like the stocks react like very unpredictably, because like, oh, how much money do you need to raise to do that? And it gets very complicated. But in this case, they gave guidance on their profitability, and they raised their adjusted EBITDA forecast for this year from 65 million at the midpoint to 75 million at the midpoint. That's a 15% increase, which right there, right off the bat, gives you a 15% minimum re-rating that the stock would likely do today. And that's exactly what it did in pre-market. It jumped right up to 15%, but it kept on going from there, and it had some strength. So I went back in and I looked closer to the press release, and it gave guidance not only for 2026, but it gave guidance for 2027. And it said their annualized adjusted EBITDA by mid 2027, and this is a 5-year contract, is above 160 million. So their earnings are going to be doubling, 100% increase year over year from 26 to 27, and then sustaining probably on the strength of this 5-year contract. It's 5 years, a long time, right? And by the way, there's optionality upside to these contracts. It's not just the 550 million. There's like an additional 20 or 30 million a year on top of that they can get. So this is a very, very significant increase in their earnings, and 160 million adjusted EBITDA. Let's just do the math there. What's the 160 million adjusted EBITDA on a $1.24 billion market cap is, what is that? 1.2 divided, 1.2 divided by 160 million. 7.5. It's trading at 7.5 times. I don't know what their EV is. Or if they have debt, I have to research that a little bit more. But at least assume if they have no debt, I don't know if they do or not. But you're talking about a multiple of that seems to be low. What's their? I have a forward PE here. No, so you gotta go by the adjusted EBITDA. Anyway, given all those numbers, I felt really good about being able to buy the dips here this morning. Doing well in the stock today. I said, maybe we can head towards a 50% pop today. I don't know about that anymore. It's up 34%. What I do know is the dips are being bought, and you can have conviction and confidence buying the dips because of this fundamental re-rating story. So that's TH. There's air for you. MU, big Cantor Fitzgerald upgrade this morning.
Yeah, this thing's ripping right now.
$700 price target. Yesterday was the first open green candle since March 17th. The RSI is really oversold. This might continue running. This one might continue running. Wow, look at it go. It might just explode to high.
I'm looking at 370 to 373 today.
Wow.
That it could possibly
No, I
hit.
mean, we had such a good alert and entry in the MU calls in our Discord. I didn't stick with it. I just
the 355s at 630.
Yeah, what are they now?
Hold on.
I sold them at 8.
There we go. You sold them at 8? Oh my gosh! Then they're at almost 16.
Oh my gosh! Is the trade still on our Discord?
Yeah, it's still on. The only
it's
trimmed
still
down.
on, and I didn't follow our own alerts.
Yeah,
I'm just too scared of this market. I only sold for a small gain.
Yeah. Here's another space stock from Thinking About says BKSY, Baker Kilo Sierra Yankee.
I don't know. Well, it's in my space list over here. It's up. Yeah, I have it. Black Sky Technology. I have it on my watch list, but I've never researched it. $1 billion market cap, up 15%. They did get a $99 million contract yesterday. It looks like that's interesting. Awarded multi-year sole source $99 million contract for advanced next-gen capabilities. So I love it when you have a catalyst and you have the sector sentiment running. That makes for a very high conviction trade. So
here we go. MU is about to hit that 370 target right now.
Wow. I just stepped back into some common shares.
373 have resistance. It may struggle to get past that. If it does, looks like 380s are going to be in the table for it.
Shit, I bought the dip in Sats and it's not working. That's unusual. This Sats, this is unusual. It's really underperforming the sector, and this is the one that has the best exposure to SpaceX, as far as I know, the best valuation, the best discount to their NAV, and it's really underperforming today. A little bit surprised at that, Laptop.
You know what's also performing very well today? I mean, we don't really trade this often much, but we used to, is TSSI.
Yeah, I used to trade it a lot. Is it?
Look at this.
Huh? Wow, look at this MU. MU hit that 370 target you had.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm just like scalping some common shares. I'm gonna sell it here.
Probably has another $3 move maybe in it. Then I think we may see some resistance. Also depends on the indices as well. If we see a pullback, this will get pulled with it as well.
No, not necessarily.
The indices are looking pretty strong.
Not necessarily. I don't know that, because remember, MU was like complete. There were many green days in the indices here while MU was getting destroyed.
Well, that was also due to the sentiment and everything coming out.
Yeah. But my point is, it's so oversold for its own separate reasons that even if the market pulls, MU might not be pulled with it. That's my point on that. Yeah, especially $700 price target from Cantor Fitzgerald. That's a pretty respected firm.
Still can't believe I sold that at 350.
Wait, are you in those call options still? Did he get into that?
No, I'm out.
I
got in late. I got out. I made like a 30% return, like a moron.
What price do you sell at?
9.
Oh, see, I sold at 8 like a moron. Yeah.
I sold on the way up before it even like made a huge run. Because I didn't get in on the first entry, but when we dipped and bounced off, the market turned around. That's when I got in. But I'm kind of regretting selling that.
I wonder if Sats can really from here outperform the space stocks the rest of the day. What do you think of this underperformance in Sats today, Laptop? You know this company well.
Yeah. I don't have a reason why it is underperforming.
Does it usually what's the tendency of this stock? Does it move with the sector, or does it do its own thing?
No, it does move with the sector. It does like the sector. And
15, 10, 10,
just
Planet
been
Labs
kinda...
10. But the whole sector's up like 5 to 10%. What the hell?
Yeah.
Rocket Lab 5%. Dude, everything's up 5 to 10%. This makes me maybe want to add more. I don't know. Maybe it does a catch-up play this afternoon.
That Black Sky's up 14.5%. 15 now. Just popped.
Yeah.
Oh. Big green candle.
Look at the Qs. Oh my gosh, I got into some puts premium. I guess my original thesis this morning is working out, and market doesn't care what Trump tweeted this morning. So
Yeah,
we
definitely.
could keep going to 590 on QQQ today. 590, yeah, 20 DMA. That can happen today. I think I might have more puts at 3:30 p.m. if that happens, or if it looks like we're squeezing into the afternoon, I might add puts there. I have a very hard time believing that Trump is going to be able to orchestrate something for people not to de-risk into a 3-day weekend. That's tough for me to believe. I don't know.
Wow, Boeing is having a really strong day as well.
They had a big contract win with Lockheed Martin. Seeing a sympathy move with RTX a little bit. Man, I really called the bottom on RTX yesterday, but again, I just scared of my own shadow in this market. I didn't do much about it. I just took a little scalp on common shares. I looked at calls, but I'm like, I'm just like so scared of this market to act. I believe if AOI hit our target this morning, NNOX. I got a nice little scalp out of laser. That was a top pick this morning in our morning note. The daily chart, wow, really got destroyed. So it's pretty good for follow through. So I put that in this morning, and this is laser defense, pretty important with everything we're seeing in the war right now.
Definitely.
H energy.
I wonder about. I haven't checked on AVAV in a while.
When is GLND ringing the opening bell?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That might be something to look at.
Yeah.
Pull back today, but definitely a stock that moves with the news.
TH, baby. Big pop in TH.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I kept those calls. Those calls are so cheap on TH, man. Those $10 calls. 11, 12. Yeah, I should have kept those $10 calls. Look at that. This is me here. I just bought 20 contracts at 212, sold 20 contracts at 250. Where do we get to? 1260. Nice volume. I have a 7% common share position right now. I am up on TH today, almost $4,000. My biggest one of the day, probably. Although air might be a close second. No, not really. Oh, air pulled back, so TH is definitely in the lead for me on P&L today. Look at Qs at the eyes. Look at that. Yeah, and the morning note really spelled it out. Wow. Should we show the morning note to folks here?
Yeah, might as well.
Absolutely.
There we go. Here's the morning note here. It came out at 6:30 a.m. this morning. You can see the performance update. Didn't do superb yesterday, but up 8.23% from the month of March versus a SPY down 5%. You can see up here, well, Oracle failed. Top trades, Air, Laser, AOI really worked. Sats, we'll see what happens. But the star of this, I like to think, the best part of this morning note is a macro discussion every day. Where you can see we gave a day signal of green, so we're upgrading our new. I used to have a signal for small caps and large caps, but I switched it to a day trade signal and a swing trade signal. So we're staying red alert for swings, but went to green today. With key indices now back above the 50-week moving averages, we turn to daily charts on the next targets, revealing the possibility of both SPY and QQQ could hit the 20 or 200 DMA today. It's happening. These levels seem attainable due to the very oversold conditions and indicated by low RSIs. Another positive factor today are further details revealed yesterday about the SpaceX IPO, which increases investor confidence. IPO will happen this June at 1.75 trillion valuation. Up here, which now I'm reading backwards, I said President Trump did a fine job yesterday easing concerns about the war, convincing many that the United States will soon exit the theater. We believe upward momentum may very well continue today, as there should be an underlying bid ahead of an address to the nation by President Trump tonight at 9 p.m. This is the most valuable part, in my opinion, of this morning note I put together every morning, and I spend hours writing it. Like the actual writing of it is maybe 2 hours, but all day long I'm researching and I'm taking notes within our Discord in order to put this together. We have a Trump world section. We have a catalyst section with all these catalysts. So you got to be on top of the news all day long. Make sure, the big catalysts get dropped in our Discord, and then I go in and I organize it for everyone on the next morning. So anyway, so we got the catalyst section, Trump world section, macro section, which I think is the most important because this gives you an understanding of the market and the direction things can go in. And then I suggest some trade ideas here, which let's see, Air, Oracle, UMAC. Well, Air didn't quite get to 441. Oracle failed today. UMAC, I think, hit 1330, but pulled back. Laser and AOI seems to be working. I think AOI hit the 94 target. Laser, I think, got close to 61. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me right now. Sats and Lunar. So Lunar really worked. Okay. Lunar here, Lunar target was 20, right? Hit the 20 target. Sats is struggling, didn't get there. So hit or miss a little bit with these top trade ideas. Then I said, short QQQ, not now. I said, buy puts near the end of the day and maybe add more to it starting midday tomorrow ahead of the 3-day week. I think this may end up being a great call here. So that's what the morning note looks like. If you're interested, you can sign up at storytrading.com for that. Okay.
And what's your expiration you're picking for your puts? Thursday or Monday?
Look Tuesday. At TH. Look at TH. I wish I stayed on those calls. Well, I'm not going to be... Well, Friday the market's closed. I'm not going to be around tomorrow. I can't actively trade. So I have to think about how I want to do this, if I even want to do it with me not being around tomorrow. What I might do is pick some Monday expirations as just a hedge, not as a trading thing. I might do that. I might just pick some Monday expirations on QQQ. And I'd probably do something like a 580, maybe 585. Let me see what they're trading at for Monday.
Where do you think you're going to be? Where do you think you're going to be today?
Let me see. So 580 puts for Monday are 340. I think I might do something like that. I might do like 582 puts at the end of the day, but yeah, I wouldn't say the play has been shorting the market on Friday for that intraday move because of the fear trade into the weekend, the de-risking into the weekend. That's been the play. So I don't really love the idea of holding it over the weekend. You might get a positive development over the weekend, right?
Right.
So that's what I would recommend is buy them towards the end of the day today, maybe even add a little more midday tomorrow, and then you bank at between 3 and 4 p.m. tomorrow. I think that's the play. It's just a little more complicated for me because I'm not going to be around tomorrow. But I really like my thesis so much that I might just take some and swing it into Monday because I think we peak out here today, end of day, in my opinion, for a while until the next big development. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of profit. I'm trimming some TH here. So this worked out well. Trimming some at 1274, 1275 I just got filled at. So this is turning into a nice gain for me today. Got 3,500 in realized gains and another couple thousand in unrealized, I think. I'm waiting for Fidelity to refresh the unrealized right now. Beautiful. Air popping, that's nice. Sats is coming back a little bit, but I think I'm underwater because I bought right here at the 200 at like 119 something. Now we're getting close to break even on it. Nice pop on Air. That was a nice exit on TH there. Nice trim, I should say. Okay, now we got the updated numbers. Now I'm up 4,400 on TH today, so not a massive winner, but we'll see if I can make more out of it today. We're Wow, look at this volatility. ASTS, big sell-off. QQQ still pushing the high day. Air looking good, man. Nice. What kind of size do I have in it now? 7% position. 38.42 on the re-entry. Man, those calls are so cheap. I wish I kept them. 10. Intrinsic value is now 256 plus some time value there. Probably easily fill at 270 right now. Air on the move. Sats. I'm in some RTX. Common. Oh, did I get back in Mu? I don't remember. Let me see.
Someone's asking if we've taken a look at SHAZ.
Never heard of it.
Oh yeah, I hadn't heard of it.
Sharon AI. Up 17%, 427 million market cap. Wow, look at the daily chart. What the hell happened here? What is this? What the hell was this? I don't know. I have to really research that. I don't know if I have time. High performance compute company focused on artificial intelligence and cloud graphic processing. It's based in New York. I thought when I saw that chart, I'm like, what is this? Like a Chinese thing? This is weird. I don't know what's going on.
Based in Australia.
Based in
Also.
Australia. This is a weird chart. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Was this some sort of acquisition or de-SPAC? This has
Yeah,
got to
it's
be
like
a
a
different
de-SPAC.
company. This has to be a different company or like a reverse merger. I think the company's history probably started on February 18th, 2026. I don't know what the hell it was before this.
CSHR's on CNBC. I think it's the CEO. I think it's just a SPAC. It was at 46.
It was Roth. It was Roth before. Roth CH did a de-SPAC with Sharon AI on December 4th. Was it approved?
I see. Oh,
that's what
how
it was.
come those weird numbers though? Like usually you're trading at 10 and then you de-SPAC. Maybe was there a reverse split in there?
That's what I'm thinking. It seems
All
like
right, you got your MU heading to your 373
target.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a little scalp exit here though. I should have stuck with those call options.
I don't even want to see how much they're at now.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Just took another scalp on the common shares here. What? This makes no sense. Okay. All right, now it's working. How do you like that pop in TH there, laptop?
Yeah.
This makes me I'm hoping we get another drop now so I can get back in.
Yeah.
Still a possibility it hits our target today.
What was our target we gave?
1360.
Oh, 1360. Yeah, absolutely. 1360 is in play.
Because it's already through that one resistance. It has some resistance where we kind of topped out today. You break through that, then it looks like 1360 is knocking.
Yeah, this was our top pick for the day, actually, I think. After the morning show, right? Because it was a late breaking catalyst, so it didn't make it into the 6:30 a.m. note. But once we did the 9 a.m. show, we elevated TH into top pick status.
The only thing that didn't work out for us today was Oracle.
Right. Yeah.
It'll come back. You watch. People start crunching the numbers on that
Oracle
cutback. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
not today. Not today.
Yeah, intraday doesn't look too pretty right now.
Yeah, I got took a hit
little
on that.
Pullback in AOI to VWAP might be something there for a scalp.
Google breaking out again here on the 5-minute chart, making new highs.
Come on, Sats. I need Sats and AR to really push.
minutes left.
And HNRG has been such a disaster for me. Unfortunately, I'm still in calls on this. Wow, such an ugly chart too. It must be something I just don't understand about that sector. That's call. Wow, MU is still going. I don't know. Can this make it all the way back to 20 DMA? It might.
That would be a crazy move for you.
Might do it.
You're saying today?
I mean, today or tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay,
today or tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I could see a follow through. This will catch a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah, it might be today.
That'll be a crazy looking chart on the daily.
I could see it. Beaten bad. I mean, 700 from Cantor today. That's massive. So I'm sure there's a lot of short covering here going on today.
All right, we're pretty much less than $1 away. $1.50 away from hitting 373 we gave you guys earlier.
RTX some volume here. That's 43,000 shares.
Air's holding up nicely over the 20-day as well.
TH is holding up very nicely, I gotta say. How much are those $11 calls at? No, the spread's too big. 12 isn't bad though.
Yeah,
$12 calls.
Those are nice dip buys.
Which is not bad. $12 calls are not bad here on TH. Maybe something there.
MBIS selling off hard here. Nike, wow. Down almost 15%.
You know, freaking, I shorted Nike. Yeah. I shorted Nike yesterday, and then I covered it like I have like my own to prepare for earnings. I use Yahoo Finance estimates, and I get them all printed out onto a here. Actually, here I have it right here. So here we go. Can you see that?
All right. Sam just trimmed. He's down to 2 contracts left.
Wow.
On MU, so pretty much he has runners.
Wow.
Over 200% return for those calls.
Wow. Should have followed him. So Nike, hold on. Let me tell you what happened with Nike. Wow. Hold on. AOI, if it hits this 200, I might get in for a scalp trade. So yeah, Nike, I don't know if you could see this, but I print out this little grid of ERs that I'm interested in. It's too blurry. But anyway, it includes on there, this data comes from Yahoo Finance exclusively. And for Nike, I had revenue of 12.2 billion and analyst estimate. And then revenue came in at like 11 billion. I was like, holy shit. And I shorted it. I shorted it right away. And then it popped and I was down on the short. And then right after it popped, I go look at Benzinga Pro. And then Benzinga Pro said they beat earnings. I'm like, they beat revenue. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't know which is right. So I covered my short for like $100 gain. My God, like a 20-cent per share gain.
I'll calculate it now.
And it wasn't only Benzinga Pro. All over X, they were saying they beat revenue. But then later they're saying it went down because the guidance on the conference call was not good. But I don't know. I don't know what happened there, what the correct revenue number was. But I usually live by this. And it's usually very accurate, the Yahoo Finance numbers. And if I just stuck with the Yahoo Finance, and sorry, Benzinga, you shook me out on that. If the Benzinga article had the same revenue estimate as Yahoo Finance of 12.2, and if that AI from Benzinga said Nike misses 11 billion versus 12, I would have stayed in my short. But I didn't. I didn't stay on the short, unfortunately. Because yeah, that's a massive miss. I think I'm going to try AOI trade here.
I'd wait to see if we get
I'm stepping in AOI right here. I'm stepping in right at The 1 minute 200 RSI is pretty low. Just got in.
I don't know, Ben. If the market pulls, it may pull it with it.
I know, but we've been saying this all the time, and frickin' these individual names. This was a top pick this morning, so I'm trying to have a little faith in the morning note that the bids will be bought here. See what happens. I'm in at 90, 99, 90, 99. I mean, this thing was 96 a few minutes ago. It's not terrible. Let's see what happens.
All right, I'll let you play this one. I'm gonna watch from the sidelines.
Is the market pulling? A little bit. Market's starting to look toppy here.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on. I might add a few more of these puts that I'm down on huge. I have April 2nd. No, that doesn't. I don't want to get. I want to get April 2nd.
You can scalp this right now for 11 cents.
I don't know.
Which call is still looking good to run? Just
No, I don't know. These
consolidating
Qs might still go. The Qs still might go that 20 DMA. I'm gonna wait till the end of the day to get Q puts.
MU's breaking below the 28 moving average on the 1 minute here. It's broke below.
I just sold out of that thing. Or sorry,
What do you
that
do?
was Ross. Ross is sold out, right?
Of what?
The MU calls.
Oh, Ross, Sam.
Sam. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was Ross on that last two.
He said he's keeping a couple of runners. I think.
Yeah, 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he has 2 left.
Yeah, I'm up 59 cents already. 70 cents on AOI.
Nice. I was wrong. Joe.
Hold on. Maybe I'll just watch me take a quick 70-cent scalp, and then I'll be up like $4 in like 10 minutes. That's what's been happening lately to me. All right. Here we go. Oh wait. Ooh. Oh wait, that was a much better scalp than Oh, that was more than a 70-cent scalp. Hold on. What did I get there? I sold it 91.32. Oh no, that was. Oh no, I only got a 30-cent scalp. Mother fricker. Didn't have a 91 to 91.32. 33 cents. All right, whatever. Coming back down. Look, it's coming back down. Oh my god. All right, I'm not gonna buy it again here. Let's see if it breaks. Oh my gosh, got lucky there maybe. Oh, Sats.
Popping here.
Yeah, what was that? Oh
There you
my
go.
gosh. Gotta have like
moly, you should have had a limit order.
I know, I don't have a limit order.
There must be news. Look at this.
You know what? I'm gonna volume precedes price. I'm buying more.
Maybe some more SpaceX news coming out here. Let me look.
Volume precedes price. I'm in. I just doubled up. Got a big position now for the day. 14% allocation. Let's go. Let's pump it the rest of the day. My target was 125. Let's see if we get it. Oh my God, TH. Oh, might hit our target too. TH might hit our target.
Yeah.
Oh man, I sold a lot of it though. What do I have left? Not bad. I have 4.7% position. That's not bad.
Number 1 pick of the day.
Oh my gosh, I got lucky there on AOI. Let's see, where's the support on this thing now? Rhett, where's support on AOI? 89.76. 89.76.
I'm saying no. I'm saying lower. I'm probably gonna say like 89.
Not much difference. 89, 89.76.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me go on daily find support.
This stock has been so volatile. It's insane.
4 hour.
Sats, baby. Let's see if there's anything on Benzinga Pro here on Sats. That looks like an Uzi type of candle. No press releases.
Getting back over.
Nothing on the wire. Look at that. Let me check X. Let me check social media on Sats.
Oh, we're live on Facebook as well. Nice.
How's that?
I don't know. I see someone
Oh,
commenting.
I forgot to. Oh, guys,
Premier.
Benzinga, sorry, I totally forgot to rebroadcast this thing on our X on our story trading X. I apologize. Oh, SpaceX has filed confidentially for the IPO. That's the breaking news.
Wow.
All right,
So these are
that's
gonna
huge
fly.
news. That's huge news for Sats, guys.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting for. And by the way, I have a lot of SpaceX pre-IPO shares. One of the many benefits of being in our Discord community, if you're interested in pre-IPO shares, my very close friend is a sales rep for a for what do you call those things? Special purpose vehicle. Yeah, it's a SPV. Yeah, he got a job with them a year and a half ago, and he set me up. And I've introduced a lot of people in our Discord to him. And a lot of people in our Discord have bought SpaceX and Anthropic, and I couldn't get Anthropic, but some people did. I already have an exit on Grok that NVIDIA bought, got Perplexity, got OpenAI. So now this is exciting for me because, you know, when you do pre-IPO investing, it's like years liquidity, you know, you have to wait years. Now I'm going to get these SpaceX shares in June. That's crazy. And I'm hearing some rumors that there might not be a lockup, a 6-month lockup.
Right.
I'm very excited about this.
And 30% going to retail?
I don't know if that's a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
I don't know.
I know, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying, but that's another
I
piece
don't know,
of,
like 30% to retail, no 6-month lockup. If there's no 6-month lockup, I don't know what's going to happen with all that. We'll see.
Could be a quick wash.
Yeah. Yeah, look at strength in TH. But now I feel like Sats is a strong hold the rest of the day. I don't know. It's not really. How are the other space stocks doing on this news? What are the other SpaceX ones? It's a VCX, DOMH, DXYZ, the big one.
DXYZ.
Look at that. I can't believe. Also, by the way, XOVR has some. But how is DXYZ? Because the price versus the NAV, DXYZ probably trades at a premium, whereas Sats, I know Sats is not a pure play, but a big chunk of their market cap is SpaceX, isn't it? You know what percent of the market cap is SpaceX?
I was trying to think. I think that I
might
wanted to
like
say they
fall
own
off these
2% of SpaceX, but
Who?
No, but what percent of Sats? 2% of space. Okay.
Oh.
2% of SpaceX. Fine, we could do that. What's 1.75 trillion times 2%?
Oh, I meant DXYZ. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
But I've been hearing that NAV is 175. At 1.75 trillion, Sats would have to trade at $175. But of course, it's going to trade at a discount. I mean, you would think, but frickin' DXYZ trades at a premium.
I think the best one was the euphoric state of VCX. The NAV is like 20.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so so Sats owns approximately 2.
What? You broke up.
2.6 to 2.8%
of 1.75 trillion, which is what?
Yep.
Can someone do the math on that?
It was valued at 400 billion at the time.
Yeah.
That report came out. So you
All
can
right, so
triple
it's going
that.
to be
That'd be
diluted. It's
33
going to be
billion.
half, or no, less than half.
Let me look.
Because did they do any more raises or no?
Yeah, but relative to 1.75 trillion, that's not much dilution. Even if they were, you raise like 50 billion even on 1.7.
Yeah.
That's not much dilution.
So you're looking probably 2.1%.
Spreads are too big on the Sats calls. I'm sticking just with common shares. Look at this TH. Oh my God, our top pick TH. Sats was also top pick today.
125 target.
Air, baby. Air. Let's see if we can get to our target on air, 40 to 41. Should I take a scalp on this now that I'm up, though? Maybe. Here we go on Sats, baby. Sats and air. I don't know. I'm thinking of going big size on Sats the rest of the day. This is the catalyst I was waiting for. Sats, 125. This is the catalyst I was waiting for, guys.
What's the market cap on Sats?
35 billion. Everyone can footsie around with DXYZ. I'm buying more sets. I just got more. Yeah, I'm in like
DXYZ's pulling back hard.
I'm like in a 20% position now of sets. Okay, now the money can rotate into the real stock here, into sets after pussyfooting around with a shitco. I don't know. There's a shitco's just overvalued.
Most of those are.
AHR.
Recording DXYZ in the chat.
Well,
Brett,
with the right IPO, sats could double.
Rhett, should I take a win on air here or wait for my target?
Possibility we hit our target, but I'd always trim some.
I'm selling half. Dude, I loaded up so much sats right now.
All right, here we go. Come on, MU.
Oh, look at MU. I'm all out of MU though. Shit.
373 is coming.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not.
From the highs, 50 cents away.
I don't think I can chase it here for a 50-cent scalp.
No,
$1 scalp. No.
No, probably not.
I mean, I did that 2 or 3 times today. 2 or 3 times I bought MU on the pops and I just sold it when it popped higher. But, this is too close to that.
All we had to do was hold those calls, though. Oh,
I know.
If this thing continues to run, I wonder what those calls will do. They'll probably double from there. They'll probably be from 2,000 to 4,000 if we get in the 80s.
There's their target coming, 373.
Yep.
Hey, look, AOI ended up working. I'm not in it though. You scared me out, right? No, I'm kidding. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Now it's going.
Look at
that.
That
looks great on the 1 minute. 5 minute looks great too. It's curling up.
Dude, it's a $1.50 move. I was gonna say it's a $3 move. Looks like a $3 move.
All right, here we go. Push the new highs here. Let's hit 373 for the people before we log off.
Yeah, my retirement account must be doing well today. Doing better there last 2 days than my trading account.
Here we go. Pushing 377. 78.
81, 93.
Yep.
94, 99.
Yep.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, come on, hit it.
Look at that.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't hit it. There it is. It just broke.
There we go.
There
We
it
just hit
is.
it. Boom. There we go.
I still think it's heading to the 20 DMA. And I'm not in it. You guys not crazy? Oh, I'm very happy I bought it back in my retirement account, 347 this morning though. Sats is underperforming this news. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
This thing should be straight up. What's DXYZ doing? See, it should be trading more like this. This is the right pattern. Up, pull back, up. I mean, what the hell's going on with Sats? I don't get it. What is this? This makes no sense.
Should be great for sats.
Did he add on this news? Laptop?
It's
Suit
SATS. The ticker is
Yeah.
SATS.
Yeah. You added on this
Yeah,
news?
What's
that?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't? Why not?
No.
How do you know it wouldn't fly like the XYZ? What do you know that I don't know? What the hell? Oh,
IRDM, yeah, I've heard of that one. USO's popping.
USO's popping now, huh?
What's
Fly.
happening
That's
here?
the other. That's the other one. Let's see. Fly is fly.
USO's popping. Q selling off.
No, it's not good. So, yep. Well, so what's the news there?
Look at TH pushing. What the hell? What the hell? Why isn't Sats not going up? What the hell's wrong? I don't get it.
We have 2 minutes, guys.
It says there's three U.S. officials have reported that there's a possible ceasefire with Iran in return for the reopening. Well, we already know that. That's like old news. Benzinga 40 minutes ago. I don't know.
All right, you guys have any closing remarks before we head off here? We have 1 minute left to wrap up.
Yeah, closing remarks is if you know why Sats is not going up with DXYZ, please explain it to me. All right. Second of all, go TH. What a great #1 pick we had this morning.
Yeah, that's
I'm
awesome.
still in it. What was our target?
1360 is our target.
1360. Cool. All right. Good luck, everyone. Take care. You know what? What's that?
Sitting here at 11:30, and the queues are rolling over. So get ready. Get ready for Thursday, folks.
Yeah,
we're going down.
We're going down. All right. So I'm going to add a few puts since we're going down. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Enjoy the 3-day weekend.
All right.
All right. Bye.